of event today. I have a lot of workers. Okay, guys, before we start with today's event, I request everybody out here to make sure you have registered manually at the registration desk, not on Instagram. Please. You guys also, please. Oh, did? Nice. Okay, today's event, no, we'll make it very unfiltered. It will be like blunt open, hit on face, something like that. I don't know, I think, is even ABC being a part of today's event? ABC India is a part of today's event? Oh my god, that's something, that's like an honor for us. Today I'll give you a shout out, guys. Today I'll give you a shout out. Asim, mic's cutting off. Hello, check, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Hello, check, mic check, yep. Hello, check, mic check, 1 2 1 2, check. I think you'll have to check with this, it's breaking in between. Hello, check, mic check, 1 2 1 2, check. Ah, that's fine. So first benchers, what's up? How is it to be on a Sunday for Sip of Coffee? You guys always wanted a Sunday, right? When it is Sunday now, you guys want it on a Thursday. You decide on one thing, you either decide on a Thursday or a Sunday. Is that also a problem now? Asim, can I have the volume a little down? I mean, why is it echoing too much? Down, down. Hello, check, mic check, 1 2 1 2, check. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, please, oh, you guys have been for the ride today? How, what do you mean? Catch hold of him. See, ROB person is right here. Catch hold of him. What is this? What is this? ROB people won't take our voice for ride. What? See bro, sponsored riders. In 6K community it is not like that. Any Tom, Dick and Harry can come join, that's it. What do you mean no gears? Binoj, do you allow for rides without gears? Binoj, anybody can come and join 6K ride system without gears at all. The man in charge is right there. Isn't that good? Isn't that... See, we gave you a time leisure so that you can save up money and buy gears. I think no one followed that. Good, no? We got business, you got your gears, you got safety, That is being unfaithful, I mean, that is... What did you buy?
Blue armor.
Now for next 10 years he's going to stick on with the blue armor. Okay, I hope everybody out here is registered. You out there registered? Good. Get us what? Start working from here, you will get employee discount. How can I give you employee discount? And they rejected. See, Sambhav is right here. Catch hold of him. Ask him, why did you reject my resume? Not worthy, it is. Okay, tell me something. Till date, for all the super coffees that you guys have been, which was the best one that you have felt? Haritno. You.
I got half.
Motorsport. Yeah, Dev Venkatesh was good because he was sitting and taking my case notes, right? That is why you guys were enjoying. No, but yeah. Okay, for Dev Venkatesh you got husky goodies. How come I didn't get? Were you there? Thank God. Not I would have pounced it back on you. No, that film, I think it will automatically bounce back. He's like that boomerang type of thing, you know, wherever you throw the ball and go follow him.
Papa sir was good.
Papa sir was good. Until isn't that a good part? I mean, where an audience is energetic. I mean, I need such type of audience, you know, who can
It was fun because you were like pinpointing him.
That is the best part of the scene. No, I think the mic's off the scene. Vinod, mic's gone. Adi.
Mom, relax, mom. You know, my body feels not
Okay, how many off-road lovers in this house?
Mom, you want GT more?
I can love it, no still.
Good catch.
Dude, what is your preference?
On road.
On road.
Hey, he's not on road. Service station.
Okay, how many on-road lovers? I mean, circuit racing and stuff. Yes, don't be shy. I mean, what's wrong in it? Obviously, I mean, see, for example, Valentino Rossi, Mark Marquez, they all love it on road. That is why they are in MotoGP, not in Dakar. Right? What? It's totally fine. See, I love Marcus. That doesn't mean, you know, I am more into on-road. I love off-roading because that's something that thrills me. That's how you differentiate. It's not necessary, okay, it's not like, you know, Congress, BJP, no. It's motorcycling. First of all, the community is so small, and that if you start deviations. So, coming back to today's event, how many of you guys follow Tanisha out here? You don't have to raise your hand, you know, I understood the moment when you came here by sharp 5. What happens, Suhas, today is Sunday, how come you are here? Customers? Really customers? Are you that loyal?
I'm a dog or what?
Why? What's wrong in being a dog? I mean, you love dogs, right? Don't you? Yes. Okay, again, coming back. How many of you guys follow Tanisha on a serious note? Okay, what's the best part? Alex, mic check, one, two, up. Guys, give me. Okay, what is it you follow? I mean, why do you follow Tanisha for? Simple, direct question. Why? No, I would rather ask that. Why do you guys follow Tanisha? Why would I drop the question? Yeah, bro, why do you follow? Okay, why do you follow Tanisha?
She's a motivation for me.
Got it?
She promotes,
For that, you guys you don't have to follow me. You guys come and eat my head here. No, what more do I need?
Why do you think we come?
Why do you guys come?
Why do you think we came today?
No, I mean everybody else. Honored, bro. Thank you so much. I'll not forget this, but don't expect any discounts. That is out of loyalty, the love, friendship, biking brotherhood. That is the reason. Why do you follow Tanisha? Would you follow Tanisha after this event? I will make sure that you follow Tanisha. Okay? So coming. Sir, you follow? No. Then what made you get into this event? What? Vinoj, okay? That's a nice this thing. Sorry. I don't know why I have a very shy audience this time, especially my boys. I mean, the moment I asked you guys, why do you Tanisha, you will drop the goal?
He's still finding why he follows.
Are you following now or are you checking her out? Okay guys, before we start with the event, how many of you guys have attended our show before? Have you guys attended Sip a Coffee? And you want to know that you be here only all the time. You guys haven't, right? Okay, let me give you a small brief on how this show happens. It's a very boring TED Talk show wherein we speak necessary stuffs as well as unnecessary stuffs, but we keep everything very unfiltered out here. We speak out the reality, we speak out the current situation that's happening on social media or motorsports or automotive community. And the best part is, it's very easy for an influencer, automotive enthusiast to come on a screen, talk whatever they feel like and walk out. Comments are seen, not seen, they give any, they are bothered about it, they're not, ma'am, I'm really sorry to say, you look a little too old for me, so I hope you don't mind with my language, right? Okay. So it's very simple, it's like, okay, people have the influences or the person who is posting something, they give any fucks about it or no, they don't care, right? Very few reply or respond, but most of the times, I don't get responses when I want to. When it comes to such events, we keep it very unfiltered. Whatever questions you have, you guys can shoot it out. As you can have the volumes a little high. So, the whole show is about motorcycling, whatever they do, whatever the content they put out, and we speak the reality in the industry. So, let's start with today's event. I think we are already an hour late. Yeah, Monster is coming today. You guys take Red Bull cans next time when they come. That time it is there. You wanted Monster only? How come the moment I told you missed last show of Harit Noah and I told Red Bull had come, you were like, oh shit, Red Bull came, I was not here. I'll be very honest, Red Bull's ambassadors are much more hotter than Monster. Oh, you agree? I hope Monster is not saying, right? This is not going live, right? Okay, coming back to the show, Vinoj, can we have this? Red Bull also gives you more than one can. That was your bad luck. You should have impressed those girls who had come to give. Aww. Okay guys, let's put your hands together for our today's guest for the coffee. That's Tanisha Arora, who is a fitness trainer, journalist, as well as a motorsport athlete. So guys, make some noise. Please give a big round of applause for the beautiful lady out there, ma'am, please. Okay, left profile, right profile. Which profile? Please. But she wants left profile. Usually, girls are very obedient to two people. One is parents, next is photographers. The mic's all yours. So first of all, welcome to today's Sip Coffee show. Even though it's a Sunday evening, instead of going on fancy dates or chilling out with their friends, they have come to watch you. See your smiles.
Wow, I'm actually very exhilarated seeing all of you all here. Thank you so much for joining. Hi Vineet. Hi. I remember that girl, she used to text me on WhatsApp that please organize a ride in Bangalore, we would love to come, and I think we should plan something today.
I mean, ride at this time.
Anytime.
Okay, before she would get ready for the ride, I think these boys are going to get ready for the ride.
I would love that. I mean, open for call.
Thank you, Tanisha.
Love you.
So, coming back to today's event, you know what Super Coffee is all about, right? Have you watched any of our videos?
Yes, I have.
I'll be very blunt on this, okay? Even people who haven't watched, the moment we give an invite to the influencer, that is when, they start watching the videos, what happens there. It's like, have you seen these 10 standard exams? Exactly, 15-20 minutes before the exam, people just open up all the pages.
Revision. Yeah.
Isn't that true?
Yeah. But that's not the case with me.
Okay, you have been following
Yes,
it.
yes, I have.
What is the best part that you like about the show? Apart from those small content.
I just like how people who genuinely follow someone on or off Instagram also, they get a chance to interact with people they like, people from who they might get the right advice for motorsports or for any topic of discussion that we're having. So I think it's a great opportunity for all of us to share opinions, speak, ask questions, just mend along with each other, and also know a person you always see on a phone screen in person, and then just actually know a completely different side of theirs. So that's a really good thing.
Give you a brief on what this event happens. I'll be very blunt out here. It's a very unfiltered show. We speak out. I mean, for us, brands, not a concern. Beautiful old ladies like that also, I still ask their permission and we talk whatever the reality is.
Absolutely. I just wish there were more females, like more and more girls here that would really excite me. Because men, obviously, biking and all, I understand the complete,
Okay.
I mean, it's always good for a woman to see women who, we end up inspiring.
I mean, it's 2025, so. But still,
So?
I mean, the boys understood here, right? So, yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised singing on, especially you guys so on time.
We're always on time.
Okay, I'll tell you what happened. These boys are that group, even after the show starting after 30, so they'll be chilling downstairs.
Wow.
But I don't know, today, .5 they have come. They literally asked me to block the first 4 chairs.
Oh, really?
We sit here always.
But today they asked me to block them, right? People? Oh.
But thank you for joining. It really means a lot.
Okay, coming back. Since it's Super Coffee, would you like to have a coffee?
I think I've already had my coffee and I'm getting a good adrenaline, so I'm all ready to speak out now.
The coffee will.
Or if
You
you-
guys want, table is there. Go.
What new things are we doing?
Huh?
Before coffee, we should come to us.
Bro, now the boys have gone to a next level standards, bro. They're like, we won't serve, no table service. Okay, now coming back to the show. Okay, Tanisha, can you give us a short intro on what you do, how things are, the way you put out your content? Then you also have a tagline, right? I mean, bikes and beyond.
Yeah.
How did that come? What's the whole agenda behind it?
So Bikes and Beyond is something that I actually came up with, was because when I had Bikes and Fitness, it was only restricted to that. But I'm more than that, As a person, we're always more than just 2 things. So for me, my Instagram has made me, end up having as many followers as I have, and such genuine people who have actually showed up for a show like this, because my page has education, It has tips and techniques. It has some really good visuals about any trip that I take. It's got some brand collaborations. Mainly it's me talking about my experiences, my opinions about motorcycles, about a lifestyle of a biker, and mainly being a woman in a male-dominated industry, which makes it stand out. Hence, I've just named it Bikes and Beyond.
Now talking about your family background, do you have siblings? What does your parents do? Mom, dad?
I have an elder brother. He is very boring. He's a PhD in mechanical engineering. He stays in Houston, Texas. Very boring. Doesn't ride bikes. He sketches bikes though. He used to do technical drawings, so he used to have the sketches of Hayabusas and all at home. He used to color it, he used to sketch it. I, as a person, I can't even draw a straight line with a scale in my hand. I'm that bad at
But she can draw a straight line with bikes, huh?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I've got one elder brother. My parents, very simple people. My dad had the passion for bikes. That's how I got into it. He used to ride a Royal Enfield with a right side gear. And he's been into bikes ever since, but then before I grew up, it was a great time for him to get rid of the bike so that the daughter and the son don't get crazy for bikes and end up crashing. But then that couldn't stop anything from me getting into bikes. In fact, my dad was the only one who supported me to get a bike. My mom, she's a simple woman, she's a housemaker, she's actually a fashion designer by profession. But she stopped it to, see her lovely children just grow and give their board exams and sit at home and, just cater to them, give them food, push them to study. But yeah, I think she's also pretty excited about the fact that I do ride bikes. And she gets very thrilled sitting in the pillion seat behind me. Although she does get scared, she keeps pressing my shoulders and I tell her to grip me with her legs, not with her hands. So it's a beautiful experience and parents are very supportive.
Coming back to your brother, how old is he?
He's 29, he's married, he's got 2 kids already. As I said, he's very boring, doesn't like to experience life, doesn't go traveling anywhere. It's just...
But he stays in Texas, okay? She doesn't know what's happening in Texas. I don't know what's happening in Texas. Obviously she'll tell it's
I don't
boring.
need to know what's happening in Texas, honestly, because it's just a boring life he's been leading. And I'm happy with what's happening in India, so that's all I'm concerned about.
Okay, tell me something. So since you told your brother is boring, right? I mean, what do you think is something that interests in men?
Sorry.
What is it that actually makes a man more interesting? I know this is totally out of the script.
Okay. So for me, what interests me in a man is someone who's ambitious, someone who shares interests like mine, someone who likes to travel, someone who likes to kiss the ground occasionally by crashing. Other than that, someone who likes to travel, someone who is charming, someone who's well spoken. I think mainly someone who is adventurous.
Why is he going on red? Why are you going on red? Okay, it's okay, don't get offended.
So yeah, someone who, it's like I saw this meme on Instagram that said that, I want to have like a DINK lifestyle, D-I-N-K, dual income, no kids, which means that, hey, let's go to Africa next weekend. Yeah, okay, let's go. That's how laid back and that's how free-flowing mind a person who I would be interested in should have.
For that you will have to get married to Narendra Modi's siblings or something because visas are too expensive, no? I mean, Africa, if he wants to go next week, where visa will come out?
No. I think I'm good with a person who has a job, who has, for example, like a startup culture, who can just let people handle his business and just go have a trip with me.
But still, visas won't come that soon. Okay, but coming back to the show, okay, I told you, right, this is not a podcast. People usually think, okay, this is a podcast session, but this is not at all a podcast. This is how this event goes.
I'm liking it so far.
And especially having these boys in the front row, so today it's going to be fun. Okay, before we start, let me introduce you to the team. Myself as, we have Rog at the registration deck, we have Mola for the tech support, we have Asim at the DJ console, who is Nihal and Aslam at the media background out there, and who else is there? We have Samba who heads the place, so it's all because of him the show happens. And who else? Okay, rest of the team is at the counter behind. And 6K is not just a normal riding gear store. We here are an experience center where we not only sell stuff but also bring in motorcycle events, activities, and much more. So if you guys want to come down, chill out here, have a coffee. I sometimes feel that statement I have to remove. If people want to come down here, chill out, that is being utilized in a very wrong way these days, especially the front rows. But yeah, again, you guys want to chill out, know more about motorcycles, you guys can drop in anytime. And it's not always necessarily that only Tanisha has to go on rides. You guys can come join our community also for rides. And since you have moved on to Bangalore, you also can join our rides. If you are interested, we can do something exclusive.
Yeah.
So that the girls would love that.
Absolutely.
Asim, can I get a coffee? Please. Okay, so coming back to the event, what got you into motorcycles and what are the motorcycles you have ridden and owned till date?
What got me?
When I tell this, it should come from the day one.
Yeah.
From if it is from a fifth standard, or again riding your crush's motorcycle, that is also fine. Which you have already crushed, everything goes on.
Okay, that was a very nice light hint on my body weight. Thank you. Other than that, I think when I was in 8th grade, I just knew that I told my dad that once, as soon as I pass 12th grade, if I pass it, not get good scores but just pass it.
Did you pass?
Yeah, of course I did. By hook or by crook I did. Once I passed 12th grade, I need a motorcycle. And he said, okay, you get 85 plus and we think about it. Now that was already a very high benchmark for me. In 10th, I ended up scoring somewhere around 86, best of 5, 89. 90 was just not in my books. 12th grade, I ended up scoring 77, which was not that good, but that's what kind of delayed my ownership to a bike.
And delivery date extended.
Yeah. So I cried from 18 to the age of 21. I cried. Finally, I got an MT-15, which was my first bike.
How old are you? I know it's not
You
right
don't
to
ask
ask
a woman about her age. No,
but since I told you this is an unfiltered event, how old are you? 22?
How old do you think I am?
22, 24. Wait, I actually had guessed a couple of days back and...
I'm 24. So it's been what, 2.5, 3 years since I've been riding a motorcycle. So yeah, MT-15 was my first bike. 11 months, I outgrew it completely and I got myself an ATV 390, which I have right now.
Okay, from an MT-15, a street motorcycle to an adventure motorcycle, what made you choose that?
So when I bought the MT-15, I got in touch with one of the bikers cafe near my place. So the owner of the shop saw that I've just moved into the town and I own a bike. I had gone to him to fix a number plate. So he's like, hey, why don't you join us to a ride next weekend? We all are going to Lonavala. I have 15 friends, just join us. I said, okay, cool. We started the ride, they were all unknown guys, not even a single female. I was like, okay, this is a sausage fest, but okay, let's go. Then after the ride got, in the middle of the ride when we stopped for breakfast, that's when there was like a, very dramatic face reveal where I take off my helmet, people see how I look, people see the way I spoke. Now that thing actually got me into automotive journalism. Because one of the guys was an editor of a media house. So that's how I actually got into it. It just outright fell into my lap, the opportunity, and I grabbed it. So actually the funny thing that happened was, in the middle of the ride, one of the guys met with an unfortunate crash because his helmet was loose. He fell down, he broke his chin just burst open. So we had to stop because of that. Now when we stopped, that guy was getting his things done and we were all at the side, and the owner of the shop told me that, hey, Parichay really liked you. I was like, what? In what sense? And Parichay is an aged man, bald, and I was like, what do you mean he liked me? He's like, no, he wants you to review for him. I said, okay. I thought it was like a Google review.
He wanted to review for him in the sense?
Yeah, that's what. So I thought it's a Google review for his business. I was like, okay, I'll give 5 stars and he'll be... So I told Darshan, I was like, yeah, okay, cool, I'll review for him.
You tell Darshan, Parichay, everybody out here will be like, I can't come and tell you Sulaiman or Shashidhar, right? I mean, if you can introduce who they are also.
Darshan was the owner of the Bikers Cafe. Parichay was the editor of the media house. Shifting Gears is the media house's name. So Darshan told me that Parichay wants you to review for him. I was like, okay, I'll review for him. I thought it's a Google review. I'll give 5 stars. I'll put a nice opinion and we'll be done. So he's like, Parichay wants to meet you tomorrow. So we'll arrange for a meeting from 4 to 5. I was like, to give 5 stars on a Google page, why would you require a meeting? I was like, this guy is really into me, I thought.
Woman.
Very funny. Then after that, once the meeting began, that's when I understood that, oh, I have to review bikes and I have to review cars. And I didn't know jack shit about anything. I didn't know what's torque. I didn't know what's PS. I didn't know why is it even called Newton meters of torque. I was so new. But then this guy, I spoke to him. He said that we'll keep taking trips across India. There are a lot of media launches. We'll go here, we'll go there. You come with me, you create videos. I was camera shy. I used to stutter. I used to stammer. And I wasn't very confident on camera. But then once it started with him, it was difficult because there was a camera pointed right at my face and I was supposed to speak and I used to just go blank. And at media launches, while he's shooting, he used to tell me that, come on, speak faster. There are people behind us. Come on, finish it off. And I get more nervous and I just don't end up speaking. So I had to give voiceovers. I used to shoot, I used to give voiceovers. That's how actually I got rid of the camera fear, camera shyness, left all that. And then I actually became confident on camera and then that's how I'm here today, speaking in front of all of y'all.
I mean, especially next to me, Okay, but coming back, you still didn't tell me when was the first time you sat on a motorcycle?
2017, when I was in 12th, when I didn't get a bike, I thought bike nahi mili to kya hua, let's just learn.
We'll go rent.
Sorry?
We'll go rent.
So my cousin used to ride a Yamaha FC. I went on a
I mean,
ground.
there is a big story behind it, because that smile what she gave itself told. Okay, tell us the story. How was your experience the first time you rode the bike?
The reason I smiled was because 45 minutes down the training session when it started, not even training, just an understanding. I was riding the bike on 3rd, 4th gear. 45 minutes. That's when I understood that I'm a quick learner. I do have a knack for bikes and I always was fascinated. I've always been a tomboy. Like I was in sports when I was in school. I used to always hang out with guys. I never really had girlfriends, girl space friends. And I used to be a little, I used to feel tomboyish around girls because, oh my god, I want coffee and I want this and I put this makeup. Did you try this lipstick? And I was not that kind of a girl, okay? I was like, bro, let's go play. Like, let's go play basketball, let's go play football. And, I was always with the guys. Even my PT teachers used to like me a lot because I was always into sports. Dodgeball, I used to play like a man. I used to hit the guys on the face.
PT teacher was a guy or a girl?
Guy.
Oh.
That's why.
It's okay.
So it was all chill. Like I was that kind of a person. And I knew that whenever I ride a bike, I'll obviously love it and I'll resonate with it. And that's what happened. So 45 minutes down the line, I learned how to ride a bike, posted pictures on Instagram and I had 1.5 thousand followers from school and college. And I put Dhoom Machane ka, background song because we were that cringe at that time.
I wouldn't tell cringe. I mean, today also, I would still give the credits to John Abraham just for the boozas.
Yeah, I mean, actually, you know what? I did that actually when I was on a Hayabusa in Orissa. I did put Dhoom Machane song. So yeah, that's how. So yeah, my cousin brother taught me how to ride a bike, and he gets all the credit for that. That's what the story is. One day I learned.
The day you learned your motorcycle, did you go back home and tell your mom that I'm riding a motorcycle now?
Dude, I was training like, okay, if this is my house, right there, like just below my house, there's a big open ground, and I told my mom, come on the balcony, come see me, and she's seeing one tiny person like that on a bike, just doing like something she's doing, but she knew that I'm learning from my brother. She knew that.
And she was completely okay with it.
She was fine, and until I got into all this and I'm on a circuit and all, she's like, Papa, please don't do this, please don't do this. I was like, I'll crash, I'll learn. She's like, but why do you want to do this? Like, just do like a corporate job, wear nice clothes and look good, go to work, wear short skirts. I was like, I'm not that kind of a person, like I want to wear a riding gear, I want to look like a man under a suit and I just want to ride bikes.
I mean, the problem was, when both the siblings were born, God got confused in between another conversation and the genes just interchange here and there. Okay, how do you know that, ma'am?
Sorry?
The lady behind.
I never met.
Ma'am, how do you know her? Yeah, speak. Not you. I know that she knows you. Yeah, ma'am, how do you know her? Through Instagram. Not bad, you know the age difference. I so wish. Okay, I know I have old people following me, but not for motorcycles. It is something else. I mean, in a good way. Okay, I think I don't trust you. Okay, coming back, you have experienced both off-road racing and circuit racing. How is it different from each other when it comes to technical skills and motorcycles?
That's a very good question. How many of y'all are into off-roading? Okay. Circuit? Anyone who's tried it, who likes it? Lesser people.
Guys, you guys can lift your hands. Anyways, if you're going with Binoj for rides, it is off-roading.
So, before I got into circuit, once I started journalism, I was with that guy for like 4 months and I left the job because I wasn't very comfortable speaking like a parrot in front of a camera, to be honest. So I left the job and I started things on my own, and that's when when the 390 had launched, the SW variant, which I own, so we had a media ride at Adventure that's in between Bombay and Pune. When I saw Nelly, when I saw Sunny over there, the way they were flying bikes left, right, center, the way they looking so cool with the dust at the back, I'm just like, what am I doing in journalism? Like, why am I talking in front of a camera when I can do this, when I can just ride a bike like that? So as soon as I left journalism, the first person I called was Sunny, and I told him that, hey, I'm jobless, but I have the passion for motorcycles and I want to learn from you. Are you in? He spoke to Nelly, who's the business head of Pro Dirt and Off-Road Academies. Nelly and I had a 1-hour call where he grilled me, where he spoke to me, where he understood what my intentions are, and I told him that, hey, I am a kind of person, if I want to do something, I will not put a half-ass effort in that. I'll do it fully, because that's the kind of person I am. If I start something, I have to complete it. So I liked the way Nelly was asking me questions and he liked the way I was answering him, and that's how the synergy just set. He said, okay, just come over next weekend. I said, okay, I'll ask if someone's coming near Pune, I'll sit in their car and I'll come. He's like, why? I said, I can't ride down a bike from Bombay to Pune alone. He's like, of course you can. Why can't you? And I was scared. I was like, how will I go alone? What if something happens? Who will tell my mom? Who will tell my dad? So he's like, just take your bike down, just come send me your live location. If there's any problem, I'll be there. That was a new chapter of my life that opened up. I rode down on my MT-15. First day of going there, he asks me to sit on a random bike. He's like, show me what you can do. He's like, I can't do anything. I can only ride a bike. And that too on gravel, on mud, on something where I won't even get proper grip on. So the first thing that you do when you sit on an adventure bike, you sit close to the tank, your arms are in an aggressive posture, and you grip the bike. What I did, I sat comfortably and I thought, let me show Nelly how comfortable I am riding the bike. I did the complete opposite. 5 seconds before I met with a crash, Nelly told people around me that she's going to fall. In the next 5 seconds, I fall. I come back, embarrassed. Nelly's like, I knew you'd fall. And now I know where you stand. Now I know how to train you, where to train you, and in what manner to train you mentally as well. Because I'm a maniac. I'm all about speed. He knew it because I whack throttle, I just go all out, which was a mistake, which is actually a very bad thing to have. So that I had to unlearn. I had to unlearn 10 things to learn 2 new things, which was a completely different journey, which was a completely different eye-opener for me, because when I was doing journalism, no one really taught me how to ride a bike. Off-roading, I started on a 390 adventure. Directly from an MT-15 on a 390 adventure, Nelly started teaching me, and I was obviously, itni lambi bike, how will I ride it? Such a heavy bike, how will I ride it? My legs are not reaching the ground, how will I ride it? Today I own that bike. It's because of the techniques, because of the way a person teaches you, and because of your passion to learn. It's like that story that You can always take a donkey near the water to drink it, but the donkey has to drink the water themselves. So it was that story. That's how
Which was you, the donkey or the person who took the donkey to the water?
I was the donkey. Now I'm the person who's bringing donkeys to near the water as a trainer as well.
Yeah, coming back to the question. Off-roading and...
Yeah. So when I got into circuit racing, I gave it a shot with the KTM championship that happened in Bombay, which was a trial round to gauge which new talent can they scout for at one of a very small tracks at Raymond Grounds in Thane, where it happened. I had no clue how to lean the bike, what to do, arms are supposed to be like this, completely opposite of what off-roading taught me. You have to sit behind, your arms are supposed to be closer to the tank, the vision has to be the same and the grip on the bike has to be the same. But the two main technical factors of where to sit and how to keep the arms and how to maneuver a bike were completely different from off-roading. So when I transitioned from off-road to circuit, it was a completely new change. And I had no clue how I timed the fastest lap in Bombay for the KTM championship. With the national champion racers were 2 seconds slower than me. I don't know how. And
Off-roaders, bro.
And that made me realize how important off-roading is. Because when you know one kind of sport, which is in some way related to the opposite kind of sport, you know things that you do not have to do, which means on a sports bike you cannot counter steer, you cannot counter lean. So I knew I don't have to do that. So off-roading taught me things that I have to do and circuit taught me things that I don't have to do. If you ever feel like going on a circuit, I would say first learn off-roading. Off-roading should be the first thing that any person is doing regardless of the age group, to learn circuit, because when you learn one kind of sport, you know what not to do in the other kind of sport. So I think I can further elaborate it, but I can do that later.
If you want to, you can.
Okay, so I mean only if you guys are interested to know.
You guys want to know? Interested?
So off-roading is rowdy. Okay, to put it in words that you guys will simply understand. Circuit is graceful. Off-roading, you have to whack. You have to grip the bike, you have to let the rear slide. You have to take the bike, you have to jump with the bike. You have to be aggressive with the bike. Circuit is about discipline, how nicely you treat the bike. Because they say that if you upset the bike, she hits you bad. Off-roading is mainly done at slower speeds, which makes it safe. Circuit is at higher speed, which makes it dangerous. Hence, I am, concentrating more on telling you all why to do off-roading first. Fall at slower speeds, see how the bike makes you fall, see how you crash, and then you'll understand how nice to be on a circuit. Because circuit is something that's 10x. Speed, crash, getting hurt, 10x. Mostly when you're falling while off-roading is at slow speeds, as I mentioned. Most of the times when I have fallen is while standing. So whenever the bike falls, I am standing and the bike's fallen here. Circuit is something that will take me with it, a low side, or will throw me off the bike, which is a high side. So when you learn back throttle in off-road, if you apply that same logic on a circuit, the bike's gonna throw you off because you cannot upset the bike. You have to be smooth with the throttle. You cannot whack it because once you're at a lean angle and when you whack throttle, the tire is going to get so much speed that it's just going to lose out on the grip. The second thing, when you're off-roading, there are multiple layers of dirt. There's loose dirt, there's slightly wet dirt, and then there's hard dirt. So you have a chance of still getting grip if you're whacking throttle on a lean angle. But a tarmac is as flat as that actually. So when the bike's tire is on a lean, and if you whack it, it's just gonna go like that. But on an off-road patch, when you're counter steering, when you're sitting at the corner of the bike, when you're counter steering, your tire has a certain grip, right? So even when you're whacking throttle, you can handle the speed. In circuit, you lose it once, you lose it for all. In off-road, you can still try and make up for the grip that you have lost with a few techniques, with a little skill that you have. Hence, learning off-road and then learning circuit makes more sense because you know what not to do. Now, do you understand why I said that? Because now if you whack throttle on a circuit, you know you're gonna crash. Off-road में तुम कर सकते हो. And then it's the body position. Once the muscle memory is built, where you have to keep your hands up, you have to be close to the tank. You know you can actually apply off-road technique even on a highway, even on ghats, is because the grip that is achieved on tarmac with the off-road method is way superior than you get by the circuit method. Is only because of the fact that the bike is just gonna get out if you're bad with it, if you upset the bike. Off-roading now, I'll just keep the mic down to show this one example to you guys. So when I'm on the bike, in a off-road position, on a highway, on a ghat, where I know that there are some idiots who will be overtaking from the wrong side, will mostly be in my lane and I can't see them because I'm at a blind spot. When I'm in an off-road position, it's easy for me to maneuver the bike the way I like it. Because I'm not committed. Because I'm not committed to the speed and I'm not committed to the angle in which I'm riding. In circuit, when you're riding, you're committed to the angle. You're committed to the speed and there's no way you can move or get out of this situation unless you speed so much that the bike straightens itself on its own. Off-road method is when you are very commanding on the bike, when your body position is so superior that even if you're going up a hill or coming down the hill, if there's any stupid auto rickshaw wala or any car also that's coming, you can just straighten the bike the way you like it. And it's happened so many times. There are guys behind me. So Tanay Gaikwad is a friend of mine who is an international circuit racer. Him and I were going to Panchgani, and he was on a Duke 390, I was on an ADV 390. Two bikes with the same engine but with a completely different build and completely different genre, right? I was ahead of him because I was confident on a ghat and he wasn't that confident because he's used to the circuit way, right? Now when I am going up the hill, I am in a very commanding position of an off-road position and I'm riding and it's easy for me to just mend. It's easy for me to, even like stand up, see if there's any traffic and sit down on the bike and just go. So Tanay said that, dude, I want to have this confidence. Like I want to stand in the middle of the street, I want to see if there's traffic and I want to gauge from which side I should cut and which side I should overtake from. Secondly, there was one idiot obviously who was coming from the opposite side. And the first thing that I did, my reflexes have become so strong after training that I just it didn't even take a split second for me to decide what to do. And Tani is like, dude, how did you do that? Like, how the hell did you manage to do that? I thought you were just gonna ram into it. And that's when I said that, see, like I have done off-roading, so I know the reflexes become so strong, the muscle memory becomes so strong, and the more you practice, the more polished you become. And I will say one thing, Abhishek is very I'm very famous in the industry to crash. Okay, I have kissed trees, I have kissed the ground.
Here also we have few famous celebrities who keep crashing.
I am very, you can ask this guy. He was there at the Ultra 1 event yesterday and I just low-sided because there was gravel on the track. Not because I made a mistake, but there was gravel on the road. But Abhishek, when I came back, Abhishek is like, oh, Tanisha, she's just going to start her day with a crash. Because I crashed so much, I know what not to do. Again, you never repeat the same mistake twice. Think about it. Think about any other crash that you had. Think about the reason why that must have happened. And then think about have you ever repeated it or not. Have you? Can you think about any crash that you had and you know how it happened and then...
You guys seriously can't think about any crashes?
No, she's asking whether we are thinking about it.
Sorry?
We are thinking about it, we are just not thinking about it.
No, it's nothing to be embarrassed about, dude. Because you know what Abhishek Vasudev? He's the fastest Indian. He's been tagged as the fastest Indian. He recorded the F99 record on ultraviolet. Abhishek told me that Tanisha has crashed so much in the last 3 days, that's just made her a better rider. Because I have exposed myself to push my limits so much that I know now that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other kinds of crashes that I've had, and I know I'll never repeat these 5 mistakes twice. So my chances of crashing in the future become less because in the starting only I have, messed it up so much. So it's okay to crash, but in order to crash, you gotta be physically fit. You gotta have the muscles to protect your bones. You gotta have the muscles to protect your joints. You gotta have the right gear. Because if you don't have the right gear, nothing's gonna save you. Now, I posted this one story on Instagram where I was wearing a t-shirt, riding pants, riding boots, and I was riding to Prodot. Now, the reason I wasn't wearing the jacket was because I just had dinner and Prodot was like 1.5 kilometers away. I was like, abhi jacket nahi pehna, garam ho raha hai, I'll just ride. I posted this story. I reposted Sunny's story actually. This one guy comments, hey, why aren't you wearing the riding gear? I ended up breaking a collarbone because I wasn't wearing my riding jacket. You know what the sad truth is? Even if you wear the riding jacket, nothing can save you from breaking a collarbone. So that I wanted to argue with him, but I didn't. I respected his concern, and I did tell him that dude, I was like 1.5 kilometers away, and someone posted a funny story, so I just reposted it. Now, even as a person who has so many followers, who have a few people who look up to you, I thought it's not necessary to repost such stories because I, as a person, don't want to put this out for other people to see. You have to be very careful when you're posting things. So that's what kind of made me, refrain from doing all this. And also about the riding gear, the fact that I learned is that if you have to break a bone, you'll just break a bone. A riding gear will only help you save from abrasion, from just, being a human crayon on the road. The gear is going to save you from that, not from breaking a bone. So, physical fitness is important.
So yeah, I mean, since you spoke about off-roading and circuit racing, how things are different, I would like to, I'm not countering, but yeah, in my opinion, I would tell, there's one more segment of bikers who can actually dwell with both of this. Who are they? One more set of bikers who can actually dwell with both of this, off-roading as well as circuit racing. Give a guess. Now, for example, an off-roader, he can ride on a circuit track. He might not be to the bestest, but no, he will be a good one. He wouldn't be the best, but he will still manage. But when it comes to only a circuit racer, it will be very difficult for him on the off-road circuit. But there is one set of bikers who can really gel with both off-roading and any guess? Guess? Come on, stop being so racist. Still, any guesses? Bro, foreign countries' roads, they only show the good roads. There are bad roads also there. You have any clue?
Why don't you tell us?
Please contractors. The balance I wouldn't tell you. The balance what they gain out of motorcycle is something that helps them a lot in any type of a terrain. Agree?
Absolutely. To some extent, actually.
I mean, that is when they start learning stuff and then they start improving their skills. It's all about how you survive in a terrain, right?
It's all about how well you're connected with the bike.
So that's
More
what,
than
I'll tell you a recent experience I think I had for Ether. And we were having the shoot in Arwani. And me and Anand sir, we both were riding. And I had no clue about circuits. So I called my friend, I asked her, dude, on the circuits they are asking us to shoot. I have no clue because right a day before that at Motorfarm we have shot on the off-road terrain. And there it is like a home ground for us and we can, it's like everyday routine for us. And all of a sudden next day Arwani, I am blank. And Anand sir, I can see him, literally sliding his sliders off on the circuit. I'm like, shit, what now? And then Anand sir told like, okay, wear your gears, ride with me for at least 2-3 laps, you'll understand. I went in, I came back after 2 laps, I told sir, I feel it like a normal road that I go to office and come back. He's like, no, you're being very aggressive. Obviously, I told sir, I don't know how to, but yeah, you asked me to slide it out, I'll slide it out. That is when I actually understood how it differs. Okay, so basically what I felt personally was the way you take your corners, how fast you are on those corners matters a lot. Like seconds come in handy a lot. But the same thing when it comes to off-road, no? The faster you slide, you exit the corners. But in circuit, it's not like that. The smoother you get in, the faster you exit there. So as she told, it's like a lot of grace coming in. But one advantage I had was stunt riding. So that clearly knew me how to keep the bike without crashing it. Obviously, it's not a race, it's an ad shoot for me. So that is where I felt okay. I mean, stunt riding was a part of it somewhere or the other. That is what made me tell that. But again, as you keep riding on circuits or on off-road track, you keep building your skills higher and higher. You improve day by day.
Absolutely. How many of you all are positive about giving me an answer about what racing lines are? Racing lines. Any idea?
You know what racing lines are?
Please. Okay.
The entry at the corner that being apex will be exit. So it's like this is the corner way, this is the racing line, sleeping bank racing.
Out and out. Okay. What is your opinion about off-road lines?
Okay, guys, today's energy drink partner is Monster Energy. Guys, a big round of applause for the team out here. Thank you, Monster, for coming in as usual. Whoever votes for Red Bull, please don't take the cans. Okay, but again, coming back. Nihal, can we get a picture? How rude of you people. Oh, next time you guys come. Thank you.
Yeah, coming back. Off-road lines. Anyone? Whatever you said, the opposite of that. Okay, how many of you all think that racing lines on a circuit has to be the same with every lap?
No, it can be different.
Why?
It depends again because of the tarmac. I mean, the tarmac leaks over a hot time, right?
Okay.
So some patch might be still soft, some patch might get harder. The hardest patches might become softer over the course of time. Because the
But it's
ride-
tarmac, so how will it be soft and hard?
I mean, the grip levels are not.
Okay. But why do you feel the urge to change your lines on a racing track when the apexes are the same and their
Change is
position?
good.
Sorry?
Change is good.
But that doesn't make you win a podium, no? On circuit. I mean, there's a difference between racing lines and qualifying lines.
Agree.
How? How do you agree?
So, qualifying lines basically means you have to get the fastest lap overall.
Okay.
Whereas racing line is basically you got to get the first lap at a safer rate. Like
At a shorter rate.
shorter rate, matter.
Yeah.
So like, it's,
Okay. Can I put a perspective to that? Racing lines, the reason I say circuit is about discipline and the circuit is about gracefulness is because when you're on the racetrack, there's a certain line you have to follow with every apex that you're hitting, with every apex you're hitting. Let's just leave it there. Off-road, when there's dirt, when there are supercross riders, when there are motocross riders, every time a rider goes on one line, disrupts it. So the racing line for motocross and supercross changes with every lap. Do you think that's right?
We were not here for Noah's event. We spoke about it. I mean, it's better that you elaborated.
So yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That the reason why I say that the lines for racing has to be the same is because even if you're changing your line, it's because you want to overtake someone. But once you overtake him, you cannot keep doing the qualifying lines because that's going to increase your timing, right, for the lap. So you have to stick to the race lines. Race lines is the shortest route of a race circuit that will give you the best time that anyone can time, okay? That anyone can finish a lap in. Qualifying is okay because if you have to overtake someone or if you have to reduce the wind blast to be right behind the rider. That's also when you're actually, on the same line. You're following the same line unless it's the last lap and using him for like a proper wind blast and you're just overtaking him at the right time and getting the podium. That's why I'm saying that racing lines for circuit is the same. Hence, it's about discipline. It's about how fast you're going and at what point, at what reference marker you have to tip in. For off-road, it's different. When there's a rut, you know what's a rut? Rut, R-U-T. Rut is something that gets formed in a muddy surface with the tires that keeps going on it again and again and again and again. So when you're in the rut, you are safe. But when you're out of the rut, for example, if this is the rut and if you're riding here, there's a very huge chance of your bike to tip it down in the rut and probably will fall. So when you have a rut that's formed, you've got support on both the sides, which makes you, go faster. Now, that rut may not be the right line, but may be the line that you have to take because the track has already been disrupted by the off-road riders, by the supercross riders, by the motocross riders. Hence, racing lines differ. Circuit is the same, but on off-road with every lap, it changes. Terrain is very important.
So, since you guys are not there for the last show, I'll tell you what happens. Okay. Noah has a very different track on his paddy field, right behind his house. The track is something wherein, after every time you finish the lap, right, the entire soil changes. It becomes even more softer, even more harder to complete. So, the terrain matters a lot when it comes to off-roading. You get clay sand, you get soft soils, you get hard soils. And when we talk about, it's not just motocross or supercross, even when it comes to rallies. So you will have different terrain, sometimes broken tarmac, sometimes you will have only gravel, soft sand. I think, I think I've showed you in Motor Farm, right? Yeah, the same, something very similar. But that sometimes you guys have to come there also, apart from, becoming all road Rossies on these streets. So,
do you guys think riding on the street can give you a little experience to ride on the circuit? Yes? No. Don't. Please don't. Don't. Because if I had a whiteboard here, I would have shown you. Now if there's a road, okay, imagine it going straight and right, like a typical corner on a racetrack. What's your name?
Shetty.
As Shetty said, that you have to go out and out. Sorry.
He's not going to sleep today.
I couldn't catch your first name, I'm so sorry.
Shetty, we all call him
But it's
Shetty
okay,
only.
like even you guys can call me also Arora, it's okay. Like, so
No, I
most
mean,
of
we call him Shetty, so it's totally fine. That's not the point, no, you're not going to sleep today. I mean, you called out his name.
Continue, please continue.
So as Shetty said, that we go out and out on a racetrack is because you have to find the apex, you have to hit it right and you have to exit fast. You can't do that on the street because there's oncoming traffic. You will mostly find yourself on the innermost track, on the innermost line, because as I said, there are some idiots who are overtaking. I'll tell you this one tip, okay? Whenever you are riding anywhere where there's a blind spot, always stick to the outermost lane, because if someone's overtaking, they are 90% stupid to come almost in your lane, but not 100% to come completely in your lane. So when you're on a two-wheeler, always be on the outermost lane, because there have been some instances where I would have literally just kissed the car, but I didn't because I was at the outermost lane of the road. They will come in your track, they will come on your way, but not completely for them to kill you, or not 100% of the times. But in order for yourself to be safe, be on the outermost line of whichever road you're riding on, pertaining to the fact that there's a blind spot in front of you. These are all the things that I have learned by myself, not a lot of people.
How long has it been that you're riding?
2 years.
Not bad.
2 years. The reason I've gotten here so quick is because of the right people.
True.
A lot of people, they text me that, hey, how did you learn? So when I timed the fastest lap in Bombay, KTM is asking me, hey, how many track days have you done? I was like, dude, what's a track day? They're like, how did you ride so fast? I was like, I don't know. But when Abhishek saw the qualifying video, the first thing he said that, dude, you're counter steering on every corner. That's why probably you got the fastest lap. Because my arms were out, I'm looking there and I'm just like on a sports bike, I'm counter steering, counter leaning, which is not the right way obviously to lean with the bike. But yeah.
But yeah, as Dominic Toretto told, you win by an inch or you win by a mile. Winning is winning. Again, Vinod put his head down the moment I told him. Okay, coming back, how would a beginner choose his motorcycle according to you? But before you answer this, how did you shift from MT to an ADV 390? You didn't tell that. I mean, both are
I
up
was
to...
training on Nelly's bike. No?
Oh yeah, okay.
So I didn't have any other bike to ride on. So he gave me the biggest and the worst bike to learn, but ended up making the best rider out of me. So as a beginner, see, I told my dad I want an R15, not an MT15. R15 is sexy, it's aggressive, it'll make me look good. But my dad's like, it's not functional. It's gonna hurt your wrists, it's gonna give you shoulder pain, it's gonna give you back pain. Don't buy R15. Buy such a bike that even I can ride. I was like, Dad, you're not gonna sit on an MT15 because you're like huge, you're built, and MT15 is like so tiny. I was like, one day we'll get a BM 1250. Abhi to 1300 aa gaya, so 1300. He's like, yeah, sabne dekhna achhi baat hai. That scenario. But when I got the MT15, I went to Nelly, as I said. So in order to give me the basics of body position, he just made me sit on his ADP 390. That's how I actually transitioned, and I liked the bike so much. And at that time only the SW variant was launched, and it was Navratri. So I thought that once Navratri is over, there's a good Mahurat religious thing ki chalo bike le lete hain. So I told my dad, we were already actually planning to get a new one because I outgrew the 155cc in no time. I wanted a more powerful bike. And then I ended up getting a bike where both the legs can't reach the ground. So that was the change. Good change.
So what would you suggest a beginner to choose a motorcycle?
First thing that a person should consider is the genre of the bike. What do you want the bike for? You want it for office, you get a naked, or you get a neutral handlebar bike. You want it for understanding what a circuit is. If you want to be sporty with it, you take an aggressive stance. If you're a kind of person who likes to tour, you take an ADV. That's as simple as it goes. It's a genre. Second thing is your budget. Third thing is your comfort. Now, I will not be comfortable on an R15 even for office commutes. Now I know, yesterday I got to know that Siddharth was sitting there, his friends went from Bangalore to Goa on R15. Husband is riding and wife is pillion. I have no clue how they have done that. I would never do that, especially when I know that there are such comfortable ADVs out there. Jisko tum kitni bhi speed par, you take it anywhere you want, you're going to be fine as long as you know how to handle the bike. Now if you're a beginner, yes, start off with a comfortable bike, start off with a smaller cc, understand road sense, understand how the idiocracy standard or the idiocracy index of Indians are, understand that. Understand how bad the roads are. Start with a smaller engine. There is always a scope of growing. So you start small, invest in training, then you can actually go on buying whichever bike you like for whatever purpose you want.
Any doubts? Atik Shetty.
Which bike do you own?
CB300S.
Oh, those, the red one.
Those?
That's part of it.
No. The small with the round headlight.
That is expert.
No, not right. Shetty?
Scrap.
Calm down. Okay, that's not the one.
300cc Hornet. 300cc Hornet.
Okay.
Yes.
That's CB300R. F. Yours is?
F.
Which is the other one?
R.
That's what I'm saying. The other one is the R. Okay, you have the Hornet.
Not the Hornet.
Yeah, okay. So you use it for?
Daily commute.
Falling down.
Daily commute service.
He uses it to go to the service station every day because...
Station.
What do you do?
He has more
What do you do? Jobless. I mean, he'll be here only. Where else will he go?
And college, let's say college again, and rides with these days.
Which guys? I don't come on rides.
What's the seat height of your bike?
785.
Comfortable for you. You can reach the ground. How many of you all have a tall bike? Which one? Himalayan. 390? Yeah. Okay. And Himalayan.
So, nobody else has a tall bike here.
Ma'am, which one do you ride? Which one? Avenger.
about you ladies? Both of you.
Ladies at the back.
What do you ride?
Specifically, कुछ भी like Harley Davidson, 100cc, now I'm 50.
आपके पास कौन सी है?
अभी नहीं है.
अच्छा.
I'm a beginner.
Okay, you?
I totally prefer Express 200.
Oh, nice. Actually, you should get your hands on the new one.
Yeah,
Beautiful bike. I just loved it. The way I have exploited that bike, I tell you, I have not even had so much fun on my ADV. जितना मेरे को मजा एक्सपल्स 200 चला के आया. Honestly, very good bike. No vibrations.
right. I've been at the bike.
No vibrations.
Not even a single battery on the street.
Yeah. It's got a nice 200 suspension travel. It's very, very comfortable bike. Very comfortable. Dude, I touched 145 top speed. Cruising speed 120 easy on a 200cc bike. मतलब हैंडल बार फुट पैक तो छोड़ दो, हैंडल बार पे भी मतलब हैंडल बार पे मतलब ऐसा लगता है तुम ऑलमोस्ट एनी ईवी चला रहे हो. इट्स दैट वेरी स्मूथ. They've the R&D is very nicely done. Also because Hero gives their bike to Ross Branch Dakar Rally. So I think their engineering has just become top notch.
Do you build bikes? Do you work on bikes?
No, not really. I mean, I do the
What
basic.
have been?
Nothing. I don't believe in mods because when there's a bike, there is so much research, so much development R&D that goes behind a bike. I feel modifications is a personal choice, right? I can exploit my bike as much as I want because I know it's been manufactured that way. If I want my bike to sound good, I might put an exhaust, but everyone's gonna know that it has an exhaust because the 390 will sound like a basic beach, like a 390, right? It's not gonna sound like a Kawasaki or it's not gonna sound like any other bike that has a modified exhaust. So I feel it's good to stick to stock unless you have that kind of a bike that would actually sound really good with an SC project or with an Akrapovic or something. That's a completely different story. But for my ADV, I think the necessity products like lights, auxiliary lights and all that is okay. But the windscreen coming up, all that I don't believe. Because the new 390 Adventure has such a high windscreen. I'm a short girl, right? Now when I'm standing and riding and if there's a unforeseen bump, it'll hit my helmet. And it kind of did. Because when I'm in an aggressive stance, like I'm here and the windscreen ends up here, like when I'm in an aggressive attack position. So that's dangerous. So I like it. I like my own bike, the SW, which has a smaller windscreen, which helps with wind blast, but doesn't require so much modifications as a lot of people do it. You know what modification does? It makes your bike heavier. People are putting crash guards and all, like full bike is protected. I don't understand the logic behind it because the bike's gonna fall and doesn't make sense. I feel let the bike fall, it's strong enough to protect the levers and all. So my brake and clutch lever, they are cut from the side like after falling. I've taken a sandpaper and I've just bent it from the side, and if anyone sits on my bike, they're like, dude, why did you change this? I was like, firstly it's 5,000 bucks for one lever. Second thing, if I change it today, I go for off-road tomorrow, my bike's gonna fall. And when it falls, it's gonna break. So I just use a sandpaper, I buffed it from the side. And also it's also better because I get more compared to using my brake and clutch lever with 2 fingers because there's no space for 4 fingers. Which is actually, one of the points when you see a rider riding. If they have 3 or 4 fingers, it's not a pro. Some things about a rider. Foot peg positioning. They'll keep their leg on in the middle of the foot and the rear brake is just going bling, 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 like that. Because the front part of your leg is touching the rear brake. Same thing with the gear. If you're standing and riding on the second gear, you hit a pump, bike goes into neutral, you fall. So the foot peg positioning, the way the person is sitting on the bike, arm position, finger position, all these small things make you understand whether a stranger rider next to you will understand whether it's a pro or an amateur, looking at the way they're riding. So I think training is very important, techniques are very important, not only to look good, but to ride good.
So So what exactly is modification according to you?
Makeup. When a girl applies makeup, it's to enhance her features, which she already has. Same thing for bikes. You have a bike, you probably want to make it look good by applying sunscreen on her face, which is crash guards. So the bike is safe. It's not, in direct touch with the ground when it's falling or something of that sort. But again, a real man likes a woman without makeup. So I think it's good to stick to stock.
Okay, now for the guy clapping out there, applying sunscreen when it is very sunny out there. Don't you think that is a necessity?
Sunscreen isn't makeup, but too much.
Sorry?
Sunscreen isn't makeup, he's saying.
Yeah, I mean, sunscreen was what you mentioned. That is the reason I took. Obviously, I can't tell lipstick, no. I mean, so I'll tell you, okay, what modification according to me is two things. There are two different type of modifications. One is aesthetics, other one is performance. Okay. See, when it comes to cars, for me, I would prefer on aesthetic mods more than the performance as priority. Obviously, a guy going for aesthetics will go for performance eventually if he has his pockets full. So, aesthetics first. The reason is yes, I would love grabbing attention, especially if I am going through Church Street. Yeah, bro, who doesn't want people to turn around and see whose car is it, right? Second thing, performance. Performance, when I talk, okay, for motorcycles, let's talk. When we get into rally racings, we have a lot of performance mods, which I feel.
I am not talking about the performance mods at all.
Okay, so that is
Those modifications are internal modifications.
So
that's like a bike having a vitamin C or detox drink in the morning.
Okay, so if you're talking about crash guards, fog lights, I would rather tell, those are add-on accessories. Modification is something wherein you change something from the stock to something else.
So, are you saying that KTM 390 owners are putting handlebar risers? That's a modification?
That's an add-on accessory again.
Okay. So, are you only talking about performance modification or are you talking
no,
about aesthetic
changing
modification?
something from a stock to something else. For example, an exhaust change is a modification. But adding a crash guard is not modification, it's an add-on accessory. Because, see again, a crash guard is coming from an external source wherein you are just adding on to the bike. I'm talking about the external crash guards. For example, SW Motex. And then, say, let's take Vinoj's bike. Vinoj, you are running a different exhaust. You have removed the exhaust and you are running a different exhaust. That is modification. Right? I mean, that is what it is according to the MBD also in Kerala. I mean, this is what the explanation is given and I completely agree to it. So this is where I segregate, modifications and using add-on accessories on motorcycles.
See, I'm a kind of person who likes her bike stock.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who do like the bike
And
stock.
I feel putting a new exhaust system in the bike is not going to enhance the performance. It's just going to make it sound good for people to turn around. But if they turn around, they see a KTM 390 only.
Again, see, putting an exhaust depends on what exhaust you're putting. See, if you go to JP Road and put those
No,
with
see,
exhaust.
however good or however bad it is, even if the exhaust is bad, people turn around. They're like, "Ee, what the f was that?"
True.
But when you see, it's the same bike. Now, if you're putting a nice Akrapovic on a ZX10, people will appreciate it. But if you put that on a KTM 390, they'll be like, "Ispe koi dala paisa?"
Again, I'm not cutting you off, but what do you think, why do people put a Powertronic? Okay, there's something called as bandwidth in the performance. When the have you ridden the motorcycle internationally anywhere? Have you explained? Okay. So, let's take KTM's example. You ride the ADV 390 internationally, which is spec'd there.
Okay.
The bike will be entirely different than the Indian motorcycles. Because when it comes to our country, we have a lot of restrictions that come to emission norms, this. So the reason why people upgrade, I would tell is see, there's a small bandwidth wherein they can tune in the performance a little, wherein the combustion changes, wherein the ratios change. That is what I told, if you are working on an exhaust, you will have to put a good exhaust. You either get it a custom built or you get a proper OG tuned exhaust again. But when you talk about worth it, I mean, obviously, an 390, it's not worth it spending over is for an exhaust system. He could do so many other things, upgrade the motorcycle itself. So that is where the whole ball game changes.
So I'll tell you this one modification. Performance modification. One of Siddharth's friends, even my common friend, he works in Ather. He had a Yamaha RT 135. He's revamped the engine in such a way that it's tailing an R3 at R3 top speed. Now that is something I'll appreciate. Why? Because it's a 135cc. You've made it in such a way that people are not only looking at it because it sounds good, because it looks good. Because it looks primitive, but it's performing rad. It's performing like an R3, and the R3 guy is intimidated and he's left his bike. He's like, "Meko nahi chalane ka R3." That's actually happened. Ask him. The person who's riding an R3 is like, "What the hell did I spend my money on?" When a RD 135 is behind tailing, that is a modification I will respect. And that modification is something I'll be in for. I don't believe single cylinder bikes having Akrapovic and all that. If you have an inline 3, if you have a parallel twin, you put a new exhaust, okay, it sounds different. A street triple, the way it sounds as stock and the way it will sound with a new exhaust, exactly that is the reaction, that is the kind of feeling I want to have when I see a modified bike. 390, Adventure 390 हो गया, Duke 390, all the generic mass bikes, Expulse हो गया, Expulse पे लोग exhaust लगाते बैठते हैं. Dude, it's an Expulse. People will look, they will appreciate the sound, but they'll be like, Expulse चला रहा है. But the Acura, this thing is so good, exhaust is so good. So I feel that it should depend. Even at IBW, there was a full Expulse center, like a stall, where there were modified bikes of a lot of people, like even Nikhil Sood who had come here, some guy called Srinath who does rallies and all. They all had their Expulses fully modified. One of the bikes was looking like a super motard bike. It was looking that good. That modification is okay if you're actually getting down in a competition to see who builds the best bike. Also, that modification is good when you're making the bike not look only like what the bike is. That is a respectful modification, I would say. So it's a very deep topic, dude. It's like, it really depends on perspective. It depends on how deep pockets you have. It depends on what passion you have only for that one bike. Now, I as an influencer, I get a chance to ride a lot of bikes. So I'm happy riding stocks. I'm happy riding different genres of bike. If I have a 800cc or 1000cc, I will make modifications to it to make it look good, to make it sound good. I'll wrap it. I'll probably get a good exhaust. I'll probably get some, handle grips or something of very minute. Nothing ki, मतलब पूरा उसका look ही बदल दिया types. I don't really see a point in all that.
Again, people to people perspective same, because for me modification is something like an art. I'll tell you what runs. Okay, I have a 200. The boys have seen it. So, Tanisha, what I run on the engine, I'll tell you. I'm running a high lift cam, a big bore kit, a short crank, racing performance clutch plates, a stock exhaust. But again, the bike is completely running with power parts of KTM. And I think, with the money that I've shared, I could have bought another 4 KTMs on that, right? But what pushed me to do that is because that motorcycle has seen so many different terrains. So even today, if it has to be a trail ride, I wouldn't break my head. I have the confidence, okay, I can pull the bike over. So yeah, it's not a one-day process. It has taken a lot of R&D, and yeah, I had enough of time and I had enough of opportunities wherein I had products where I can do the R&Ds and give it back to them. So, but again, that feeling of having something that is different from the rest is something different.
If you as a person know what to do to a bike to modify it, versus me who doesn't know jack shit about how to modify a bike but will give it to a different person to do it, there is no emotional connection with the bike.
I agree. That is a very valid point.
If a person has a bike, loves it to the core, wants to beautify it, wants to do it and can do it himself, that is a personal connect. Now if I want my bike to look a certain way, I'll go to a person to do it, to get it done, because I can't do it myself. But if I had the chance of doing it myself, I would make it look completely different. So that's what it is. It's about art, it's about a perspective, and it's also about how much you want to, play around with the machine that you have. So I wouldn't personally modify it.
So that is why my first question was, do you work on your bikes?
No, I don't. That's what I said. Like I don't find this thing to do it because I'm a rider. I'm not a techie. I come from a humanities background.
What's your profession? I mean, proper profession apart from biking.
Freelancer. I anchor. I talk. I present. I ride. I look good. I mean, in photo shoots, I do photo shoots for brands. In that sense, with the whole gear on. I don't do beauty brands and all that. I do riding gear shit, like
The proper shit.
the proper shit.
Okay, coming back to the shit. Oh shit, okay. Right. Sorry that, okay, but still. Okay, how's the show going? Having fun?
Ask them, not me.
What's your opinion?
If these guys are having fun, then I'm having
What's
fun.
your scene? Is it good? Boring? As I told you guys in the beginning?
You all can tell us if it's boring, I'll amp it up a little more. We will amp it up a little more.
No, I mean, I think after a long time where I'm sitting very idle and chill and I'm letting her talk. More controversy for the content. What do you will give? Hungry. Binoj.
I'm also thinking, when is this guy going to start with the real questions?
Okay, coming back. How important are track days and attending training schools for a biker? What are the days? Okay, this is important for you guys because last time I guess somebody told me why don't you have more technical questions? How important is it? Because people think investing on track days and training schools, it's way too much. Actually, yeah, I wouldn't deny track days and training schools are slightly
That's a
expensive.
very contradictory statement. If you think that you have to pay a lot for track days and then at the same time if you ask me how important track days are, it's kind of a controversial statement because you have to spend to learn.
How important is it? And
How
people can
important
pay lakhs
is-
together and do MBBS.
How important it is for you to decide. Because it depends on what kind of a passion you have, how much money you want to spend, and how far do you want to go. You can learn a basic crash course of what a track day is in 2 weekends. You can understand the basic. You can get some nice pictures. You can be satisfied. But what drives you to spend more money to become better than what you were the previous weekend is on you. So, one track day, or even 2, or even 10, depends on how much purchasing power you have. Now, I'll tell you the difference between a poor man's sport and a rich man's sport. Football is a poor man's sport. Not saying it in an offensive manner, but that's the truth. In the marketing side, if you see how brands are, who wants to sponsor which sport, you will never see a Rolex sponsoring a football club, even if it's an El Clasico. You will see Rolex sponsoring Wimbledon because tennis is a rich man's sport. The same logic is kind of applied to motorsport as well. You will never see a poor man, pursuing motorsport because it's a lot
Madam, I am a poor man.
If you are a poor man who knows how to arrange your finances, then you're not
Then I'm not poor, is it?
Yeah, because if you're spending money on the passion that you have,
Okay.
even though you think that you're poor, that's what I said. That a track day of how important it is it's up to you. If you want to become a racer, your father has a lot of money, he wants to spend it somewhere. Most of the riders you will see have a background of their parents doing it, or parents have more passion than the child to put them into motorsports. Ki beta tu kar, paisa hai, go do this, go do that. Now there are some different categories of people who are passion driven, who are still pursuing motorsports on the expense of brands, by sponsors, by people who trust in them, by people who want to invest in
Someone
them.
left. Someone left.
So, what was the question again?
Yeah, I mean, how important
How
is
important,
it?
yeah. So, I have done track days. I have not done track days. I did start doing track days with the intention of being in the national championship. I did track days just because I wanted to up my skill. Just because I wanted to be respected as a rider. Just because I wanted to, as a woman, be recognized in a male-dominated industry that she can't just talk the walk, but she can walk the talk. So that is something which is very personal. Because I went for a track day, I liked it, I went for another. When I went for another, I liked it even more, I crashed, so I went for another. When I went for another, I got hooked onto the sport and now I want to pursue it. So that's my perspective. What is yours is for you to answer. I now want to be a part of the national championship. I want to compete against India's best because I think I have the caliber. So it honestly depends on where you want to be. If you just want to have fun on track days, you can do a basic level 1, level 2 course. Go to Arwani Grid with your bike, pay $1,500, do an open track day. You don't need a supervisor to tell you what to do. Right, Shadi? Depends. If you want someone to keep on telling you that this is the right thing to do, you do this. This is not the right thing to do, then you pay money, you pay more money. But I'll tell you, the higher saddle time you have, the more experienced you are as a rider. And there's a quote that says, a doctor cannot perform surgery on himself. Why I'm saying this? When you're riding a bike, you think you're doing the best, unless the expert is seeing what you're doing. So a doctor can perform surgery on you, but he cannot perform a surgery on himself because he doesn't know what he's doing. He can't see his own brain if he wants to do a brain surgery. Some other doctor will have to do the doctor's surgery. So when you're an athlete, you need someone to tell you what to do. But when you're a person with just a passion, you can go with your friends, you can go, with people who have already done track days, you can ask them to shoot a video. I'll tell you one thing. When I started track days, I was like, oh, I'm bleeding so much. And I see the pictures and it's just like this much. So you need someone to analyze, you need something to analyze. And how important a track day is again, based on where you want to get in life. Tumko racing suit khareed ke, you want to look cool on a track, that's one set of people. You want to race, you don't have the money to afford a racing suit, that's a different set of people. You want to race, you have the money, but you suck at the sport, that's a different set of people. So it depends why you want to do a track day. Is it for the passion for bikes? Is it for the passion for the sport that you like? Or is it for, actually competing in the national championship or being the best?
Which category you fall in, Shetty? Okay, coming back to the question, I am just carrying forward the same question. Do you feel racing in India can make a career?
No. Not at the stage that we are right now. Because when you're a racer, you're only spending. You're spending money for training, you're spending money on modifying your bike. You're spending money on track suits, you're spending money to be a part of a racing academy, and you're spending money to race. But there's no way you're earning it. Most of the motorsport athletes right now are earning respect more than money. But when we talk about the grassroots level of sports, ISBL is something that's coming up, which is the Indian Superbike League, which is an auction-based league where riders are going to get paid to be a part of any team. And those teams are going to be led by businessmen, entrepreneurs, or OEMs, or MNCs, or something like that. How many of you all know about the Indian Supercross Racing League? Indian Supercross Racing League. One of the rounds that happened in Bangalore. It's a Supercross league where there were 5 teams. Rise Motorsports, sunay? Rise Moto? They had one team. BB Racing had one team. Gujarat Trailblazers was one thing, which was led by Gaurav Gill.
BB Racing is Big Rock.
No.
Sorry,
No.
PR Racing was.
Big Rock Motorsports is Big Rock. BB Racing was by Atul Chodia, who is an entrepreneur, who has so much money, but couldn't do racing in his life, but wants to spend money on racing and on people who want to race. So what had happened in ISRL was, Indian riders got a chance to compete with international riders to understand the standard of what international riders is. So there were 3 categories. One for kids, 85cc KTM bikes. One as an India-Asia mix, where there were Indians versus Indonesians, Thailand, and Asian countries. And the third category was international, जहाँ पे Indians कहीं भी एक भी Indian नहीं था, क्योंकि अभी तक इंडिया उस लेवल पे पहुंचा ही नहीं है. Europe has a complete, a process of getting into MotoGP, a process into becoming a supercross rider. Like since the time you are 3 or 4 years old, they have a proper developed process of getting to the top, which India doesn't have till now. The grassroots level of India is so bad for motorsports that no one knows how to get to the top. So that is something which now ISBL is working with, for which ISRL is working, and these are all privateers who have the money, who are spending on motorsports to grow it in India. And ISBL's dream is to send the passionate Indians to MotoGP one day. So there is development, there is a way of earning, but as of now it's scanty, it's very scantily available, very less. But if you have the right people, if you have the right connections, you can get to the top.
And the right age too.
Yeah, age has to be on your side for sure.
So yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, okay, like how my career in racing started was, I literally had no clue on this, but again, it was Motorfarm that, I mean, majorly Dishank who pulled me in. So when we had a clear-cut agreement on, okay, I come help him out at the track, and in the meantime, he helped me train. That is how things grew, but eventually when, as I told, age plays a role. So when I have to, look after family, get settled, I know how my injuries are going to recover now. So sometimes, taking a step back is better, I feel. So yeah, coming back, I mean, are you guys hungry, bored, tired? Tired? Okay, let's take a quick break for 15 minutes and we will be back with controversial questions after this. So stay tuned. So let's take a quick break. Yep.
खुश हो गया
position is not very aggressive, but it's just a little bit. Yeah, I love it. This last 2 years I've been running it. I clocked around 43,000 kilometers like that. So I went to get to my home this 1200 kilometers. But I don't like the habit of doing that. Because you take a video of yourself and the bride. I'm happy to use that. Become a habit, so sometimes I think of buying a 390 ADV or something, but see, I bought my bike there only, downstairs Bajaj. I got it for 2,65,000. If you buy 390 ADV, that's cost of 4 lakhs. But like if I sell my bike, I will go for 1 lakh per day. The engine is the same. Okay, Bajaj and KTM 390 engine is exactly the same. Maybe a little bit bigger, but same power figures and top figures. Just that this is made only for highways. That is what it is. But anyways, I don't like off-roading at all because since my childhood, I was riding Splendor on my roads are off-road only in my hometown. So I'm done with off-road. Actually, so that's why I don't like tarmac for my guys. So maybe I think after some 1 or 2 years, I will be interested in that. It's very good at telling stuff which is very, very genuine. And this racing track, what's up? Racing, yeah, it's a bit expensive. Just buy one. Yeah, you. Whether it's a photo or not. Same. I also just want to try once. Yeah, of course. On the experience and the kind of questions he's getting. He was going to tell that I have to make it interesting. He was the one. Yeah. Even I like my bike has stopped. Yeah, that's what I also came before when I came for the Deepak Farmer session. That guy, he drove his years in the same bike coming up for 100. He took his bike to 7 continents, even Antarctica he took his bike. He's like legend. If you are able to, he has some podcast or something with Guru like that. There is another guy I'm following. He is also a good biker. He's from my state, so I will follow him. And so he, in this podcast, he tells you about, see, when you travel outside of India, it feels completely different because dealing with these guys and everything, that day he told like a lot of good stories and how to and all that. When you listen to that story, your doubt automatically gets clarified. Because I've also asked him a lot of things like how good are the tires, how good is the bike, why you choose dominant, why not a 1200 GS or something like that. Like the lighter the bike is easier for you to pick up because falling down is unpredictable. But picking up is a certainty. If you are falling down, you have to pick up. So whichever bike you can pick it up at any point of time without any concern, you should choose that. It doesn't matter whether you are riding a 1200 GS or something. Because bigger the bike you need, that much skilled. That was skilled. Not even your weight. If you see in YouTube, people, there are experts, some different level experts. They are talking, they are doing shoes, not stopping 100 days. They are just going and hitting the front brakes, then rotating the so that so you can think of this, but we cannot get that much skills, right? We are not officially doing it. So we should choose whichever bike is in our range and all that. So a lot of good things that he has put up. If possible, you search for him in YouTube, get the Deepak Kamal. Deepak Kamal. Very, very experienced. And he's in his 50s. No. I can show you. His experiences and all that. And why? Videos he has. They only he's from Bangalore. He's a local, right? Yeah, and these guys, these all are shot by 6 podcast. This was 51,000 kilometers in the 19 days. So very good kind of decent 50,000. And this guy is also Gulu Patnaik. As I told you, he's from Odisha. He stays in Bangalore. So he also, I've been seeing this trend all over the internet. There is recently, there is one more YouTuber from Mumbai. He has a time 1200 or 900. So got the bike straight out from UK, and it has a lot of faults. So when he was on his northeast ride, it didn't crank on me. So he was also telling the same thing. There is nothing left for us in India with CC bike or something. So everyone is moving into this 400cc, 500cc bike. So less than 200 kgs. Other bikes are always more than 200 to 50 kgs. Less than 200 around 400 kgs, 170, 190 kilometers. My bike sometimes I feel very much overpowered. Like, it is 400 kgs. So the power is around like 40 PS power, 35 liters. So 40, yeah, top speed I reached around 160. Only one time. I'm not a big fan of speed. If I go for a trip, I go around 90. I cannot go less than because of time short. 500 kilometers means so I'll fix this 50 kilometers per hour. Your average speed. Whatever speed I ride, it on an average it comes 50 kilometers per hour. So I don't take that much stress in my mind.
But my bike is only 5 gears. So the moment I start shaking, it's not operating with
You have to drive it comfortable RPM.
But when you go in the group, sometimes if you have this, Arab is very good actually. Not going also not bikes. So when they go taking only. Okay, and they have got a very good stability for all the riders. They say everything is
They make group accordingly that average speed.
so we ride they know this is not this. And that rider is he should have comfortable with that already. That kind of that's what I'm because my person of the mall. I don't do so much on daily. And there's some other things that there is a mix of
Smoother and smoother. There is no point in driving so fast. No, buy a simulator, bike simulator. I feel sports bike should never leave that racetrack. Because in Bangalore roads, even only the person, like, you don't need a freedom of street.
But in this street now,
Because of that only, like, people are thinking like, oh, they will crash it. But he's okay.
Looks good.
Check, mic check. 1 2 check. Okay, guys, I request everybody to settle down, and can I have Tanisha back on stage? Ma'am, I'll give you exactly a half an hour band. You can sit and chill with her.
Fancy. What's the black? Oh, like
He was like,
after that they changed it. Again like that. Oh. How much did you pay? 100 how much you paid? No, I mean, did they give a discount or something?
KD fellow.
What free गाड़ी? Islam? Free गाड़ी लेंगे. Free गाड़ी.
So guys, how's the event going on? Shetty, how's the event going on?
Thumbs up.
Especially good.
Huh?
Sir, can wait रहे तो.
Why Shetty?
Going good one.
Each service Shetty
Grilling
is the
question.
best.
Grilling time starts now. That is what I.
Grilling whom? You or us?
Me only.
Mirror on the wall.
Okay, I hope everybody is back. Okay, now coming back to you guys. You guys have any questions to ask? Tell roasters, counters. Tell no, we are wrong here, we are wrong there. Tell, ask us. Oh. Yes, please.
So, how to deal with the squid riders? So, how to deal with the squid riders in our Indian roads?
What riders?
Squid riders,
What do you mean by
choppery riders.
Shetty riders.
You want to deal with them in what sense?
So, how to deal with them? They don't know anything about the civic sense and all, and the traffic discipline. So, how do we deal with them?
Ignore them, cops will take care of
Ignorance
it.
is a bliss. Absolutely. So, have you ever experienced any situation?
Almost every day.
So tell me what is it like to be with a chapri on a road?
Basically, they don't use indicator when they shift the lanes, and what they usually do, like when they are in the rightmost lane, they will directly come on the leftmost lane. So that is the most problematic thing, because I ride most of the time in the middle of the lane, because I'm not the slowest one and I'm not in the fastest lane as well. So most of the time I ride on the middle lane, and when they shift the lane from the right to the left, they just
It's
directly,
drastic.
yeah, jump into the leftmost lane.
So as I said before, that when you're on the streets with a person close to you, you can immediately make out whether they're an amateur or a pro rider. Second thing, a body language on the bike. For a person who knows what a rider would be, you can understand what kind of moves that person will make. So when you are a biker, your reflexes become stronger and your anticipation game has to be 10 on 10. Because when you know that there is a responsible rider, you will understand with his body language, you will understand with his alertness on the road, and also you will understand with his positioning on the road. Sometimes even I go left and right without indicators, sometimes. But for the drastic ones, you have to have that anticipation to know that probably he might pull that move, and even if he does, which is to your surprise, distance yourself, let him go ahead. Most of the times as a lady biker, as a women biker, there are a lot of people who will instigate me or provoke me to race. Someone who will come and harass, someone who will, I'll tell you one thing what a friend of mine noticed. He said that the confidence with which you ride on the road now, even chapris or even guys like that will not have the guts to come close to you. because the body language is such. You know that the person who you are about to harass can kick your ass on the road. In Bangalore, first day I came here, first day of work, I was on the new 390 Adventure. I had requested KTM that my bike is on the way transporting, so just give me a bike for 2 days. This one guy on a scooter has come in from a gully and he's taken a sharp left, and I was coming from this side. He's come straight and he's taken a left. I was about to bang into him so bad that nothing would have happened to me, but his scooter would have fallen, and there was a big L written under his. What I did, I went ahead and I kind of dabawed him. And I looked and constantly looking at him. That idiot didn't know his visor is transparent and he's looking at me like this. And I knew he knows that he's made a mistake. So when I went so close to him, he tried to come close to me and he touched my handlebar and his scooter went like that. Now I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have dabawed him, but I saw the L sign later. So when he started screaming, "What are you doing? You can't do this." I said, "Lower your voice, otherwise I'll not talk to you." He went quiet. Again he started shouting. I said, "Lower your voice, otherwise I'll not talk to you."
Shetty, if you do that, no, it won't
I
work.
know,
Since she did
And
it
that
won't.
guy looked exactly like you.
Thank you for the body show.
No, seriously, he had specs, he had a mustache and all.
Wow.
Sorry, but like,
You would have been removed.
were you on a scooter with an L sign? Then it wasn't you. This was near Kormangla.
I live in another continent.
Shetty will come clean shave, bro.
I'm just pulling your leg. And I like you as a person. You're very chill. I really like you.
Shetty, man mein lage
So wherever I go, I find one person like you I gel with, You're one of those. You're sorted. So, yeah?
Give 2 more days.
No, I don't have that much time.
Shetty, you're following her, no?
No,
Today you will.
Today I'll follow you back. So yeah.
Shetty is not going to sleep for a week now.
So there are a lot of chaparis like that, man. But you can either just dominate the road and just, sorry to say it, but dominate the road and show him his place, or just distance yourself from him. That's all you can do. But never be revengeful. Like, there are people, so how many of you all know biker with abs? The biker with abs, Pratik Kundar from Bike Wale. Okay, he's a journalist. He posted a video of a guy fully nicely geared on a Thunderbird. He's around him on a Himalayan and his legs are off the bike and he's doing this and he's doing some dance shit and he's provoking him to race with him with a full gear. So he had his GoPro here, so he shot a video of him. You never know who might pull such a move. Sometimes people are in a very good mood ki yaar chalo masti karte hain types, but then they forget that you have to bloody be disciplined on the road.
When we get this incident, I mean, especially in Bangalore, I've seen is early mornings when we go to practice, when we don't load our bike, if I have to take it back from my home to the track, that is where we see, especially when these boys see all these loud exhaust bikes, I mean, proper race build, that is the time.
You'll always see a Splendor.
Everybody will become Rossies and Marquez.
Splendor next to a ZX-10R with 2 guys without helmets, shirts flying like that, and doing this.
Have you seen that reel, Raju Bhai? Raju Bhai ka reel. Raju Bhai ko overtake kiya. Same thing. Like, coming back, what is the biggest achievement in the automotive industry and what are your future goals?
Biggest achievement? Okay, I'm not a materialistic kind of person. This is an achievement.
Guys, a big round of applause to you.
It's respect, it's the fact that there are more guys than ladies to come and see my show. It was surprising. Because people on my posts keep commenting, अब ये सिखाएगी क्या? ऐसे दिन आ गए औरत से सीखना पड़ेगा. That's how they comment, which is a stereotype. I hate that, but this motivates me to talk so technical that even those chapris can't understand it. So then they don't comment on it. So that's something I've achieved. I've achieved respect. I've achieved the fact that 6K I even thought that I'm deserving to sit here, share the stage with them. That's an achievement.
For World Motorcycle Day, can we expect to have a TED Talk from her, Trilok bro? I'm not kidding. I'm asking this on a serious note. Can we expect? I mean, if you want to, please. Okay, they are the main presidents of Association of Biking Community.
Oh wow,
India.
hi, nice to meet you.
Hi Tanisha. Good
Hi,
evening.
good evening.
Hello everyone. Myself Rilo. So Tanisha, I wanted to have a quick question with you. So I'm sure you must be knowing about World Motorcycle Day. Yeah. So that's something which is. Can you just tell me how do you think a World Motorcycle Day has to be celebrated? And where, in which parts of India World Motorcycle Day is celebrated?
In which parts of India is
Yes.
World Motorcycle Day celebrated?
That's right. Yeah.
How should it be celebrated?
First, I'll answer how should it be celebrated.
Exactly. The importance of World Motorcycle Day. There is Women's Day, Men's Day, and
Yes.
Father's Day, Mother's Day.
Yes.
What is the importance of World Motorcycle Day, and how is it not, seen like the way other days are celebrated?
So, a motorcycle community is a niche. It's for those people who own motorcycles, not only for commuting, but to achieve a deeper, a more meaningful aspect of it, which is freedom on two wheels, which is why the World Motorcycle Day is celebrated. I feel, so what I had done on Women's Day was I got KTM on board for the new 390 Adventure, for people to see it, also because it has a lower seat height. Because women are intimidated by tall bikes, I requested KTM to help me with one of the bikes, which has a lower seat height as compared to the predecessors. Second, I got Rise Moto on board. I had done the Women's Day session at the Rise Moto showroom in Mumbai. The third sponsor I had was Castrol. Now, the reason why these brands agreed to sponsor was because I got meaning to the Women's Day, which is Castrol to make people understand how to maintain a bike. Even though it's a very basic level, how to lube a chain, how to change the engine oil, how to clean a chain, where to even spray the lube. Most women have less knowledge about that. That's where I integrated Castrol. I integrated a body position tuition or a session with the KTM 390 to show off-road position, to show why it is important to have the muscle memory of off-roading. And I included Rise Moto for the safety gears. So I inculcated all the three brands to show different aspects of owning a motorcycle. For any motorcycle day or any day which is specifically, channelized for motorcycles, it should be education, it should be community building, it should be, an empowerment session. By empowerment, I mean even those who have a dream of riding a bike but are scared, you help them, evacuate that fear, you help them have a positive outlook towards bikes, you probably make them free of the myth that motorcycling is dangerous, although it is, but the confidence that you end up building in a person makes you a leader and makes you actually bring a meaningful motive or a vision out of motorcycle day. That's what I feel it should be.
Yeah, I think what you said is definitely right, and it definitely touches down to what actually World Motorcycle Day has to be celebrated in a way. Which, so yeah, so what do you think? I mean, have you seen a World Motorcycle Day being celebrated?
Last year, when the Rise Moto had come up with the entire gear range, they had inaugurated that on World Motorcycle Day at the Mumbai showroom, and I was anchoring for them. So for me, it was a very good day. Like, I met a lot of journalists, I met my media friends, I met Harith Noah, I met Ashish Radane, I met Ranvijay. So it was a good eye opener for me. I saw the types of gears they have, what makes what different. So it was a eye opener. It was an empowerment session. It was something where I not only I didn't only go there for a job of anchoring, but I ended up learning a lot of things. So I think doing something offbeat should be World Motorcycle Day, how it should be celebrated. And the reason why it's not as famous as Women's Day, Father's Day, is because there's a lack of awareness. And not a lot of people are taking an initiative to make World Motorcycle Day a World Motorcycle Day.
That's right. So were you aware that something called World Motorcycle Day is being celebrated in India on a bigger note? Like, how IBW happens and Ridermania happens?
Sorry, what about it?
Are you aware about the World Motorcycle Day event that happens on a bigger note, just like India Bike Week and Ridermania?
Just today, I when I was speaking to Sambhav,
Okay.
he told me that you guys
Okay.
do something as big as that. And trust me, when I heard that the count is 8.5k people from just one city, I'm definitely going to be a part of this the next time it happens. At least it's motivated me enough to do that. And with correct people on board, I will definitely help you promote it. We'll get more like-minded people to do that, and then we can obviously make a huger community out of it.
Definitely, that makes a lot of sense because, influencers like you and a lot of other people can, add value to this kind of an event where it is a not-to-profit event which is being organized by a not-to-profit organization called Association of Biking Community India, which is by the bikers and to the bikers.
Yes, absolutely. You need to have the correct people. See, that's what the thing is. Even in corporate, even as an individual, if you have the right network, you have the right contacts, you can grow.
That's
Because
right.
there are a lot of people who will come to you and say that I'll take 20, 30,000, 50,000 for one reel to promote that. But you shouldn't aim at those people. You should aim at people who really have the passion for it. I never charge money for promoting something, promoting someone, promoting an event, because I know how much effort goes into it. And for me, Instagram is free. I don't have to pay Instagram to post, right? So whenever it's a promotion for Generation Speed, ISBL, ISRL, such leagues where Indians are putting so much effort into the motorsport community, where I feel embarrassed if I don't do it free of cost. I feel embarrassed कि नहीं मुझे पैसा दो, and I can't do that. Because for me, I'm an accidental influencer. I hate to call myself an influencer. I am I don't know, content creator, or I don't even know what to call
I'm
myself.
confused though.
She's like that pop-up girls, wherein that scientist by accident. How many of you guys know about pop-up girls?
Chemical
Yeah, accidentally, they mixed everything. Boom. Tanisha Arora came up.
So it's just, I got into journalism, right? So I used to review bikes. That's how people started following me. But influencer कोई भी है आजकल. Whoever has more followers is an influencer. But most of the brands forget to see what value. Harith Noah is a motorsport athlete, but he has the number of followers that he has is because of what he's achieved, right? But he will never go around telling that I'm an influencer. He's an athlete. Even when Faiz, sorry to bring it out, when Faiz asked me that what intro do you want me to put, I can put influencer. I said, dude, you put fitness professional, you put motorsport athlete, because I don't like to call myself an influencer. So a like-minded person, someone who has a passion for the sport, is ultimately more respected in the industry. And at the end of the day, when you are a person like that, the brands want to come to you because of the value you bring out. So in order to promote World Motorcycle Day, yes, there should be a lot more awareness, a lot more content to be pushed out. I think we will get there someday. You will get there someday.
Yes, definitely. Thanks a lot, Tanisha. And I had one more question. Like you said earlier during the conversation, so a motorcycling community is very niche community, and it's very small. So when we look at a bigger picture, when it comes to Bangalore has the highest number of motorcycles, that is being sold, and also motorcycle users. So earlier it was Pune, if I'm not wrong, and now Bangalore stands at number 1 position.
Yeah.
So when you look at that, we see a lot of other communities like cycling community and running community and all. So when any marathon is organized, right? So we see a lot of people, like at least 10,000, 15,000 people jamming up, running on the road for a cause or be it for anything. So don't you think this is less than 1% of a population which knows about the motorcycling community?
What was the last part?
Don't you think people who know about the motorcycling community, basically what I'm trying to tell is motorcycling, it's a culture, right? The community, like say for example riders, what we call ourselves as riders, wearing riding gears and a lot of other things, where most of the people wouldn't even be knowing about all these things. The moment they see, especially when it comes to cops, right? Not all the cops know about the riding gears. The moment they see us, say for example, I was heading out I was going out of town actually. I was just sleeping out of the town from the city at night, and I was literally stopped by the cop. So he literally caught me for no reason, just because I was wearing all the gears.
Yeah.
That is one illusion what these people have. So likewise, the general public also, most of them, they are not aware about such thing exists, like something called motorcycling community. So a lot of people buy some big motorcycles and all, like you can call Himalayan, right? Many people they buy Himalayan and KTM bikes and all, and still most of them wouldn't be knowing about such kind of community existence. So how do you think we can touch down those and spread awareness?
Yeah. So India is the biggest two-wheeler market in industry in the whole world. Like most two-wheelers are sold in India. Now there's a very thin line between people who own motorcycles to commute, people who own motorcycles to enjoy. Because India has mainly lower middle class and middle class families who cannot afford a car, they have a bike. They have a bike because they want to commute. They don't have a deeper meaning, they don't have a deeper motivational factor for them to be a part of community rides. Contrasting to those who have bikes, who also use it for commuting but also have a passion, so they become a part of a community. Now, you need to find those people who have the sense of a deeper meaning of owning a motorcycle, right? As I said, because most of the people are using it for commuting, they don't see, a very deep interest in being a part of a community, because for them, majboori hai. They are owning a two-wheeler because it's a majboori. But on the contrast, there was this ride in Bombay called the Spirit of Unity. First time I have seen N-Torque 125 riding community, where there are 200 scooter people who own scooters, part of that community. Same thing for some other brand of scooters, same thing for mopeds, same thing for Yamaha RDs and RXs. So in order to be a community leader, you need to have a driving factor for people to be a part of your group. Why should they be a part of your group? What are the amenities that they are getting? What is the meaning of being a part of your group? How many events are you exposing them to? How many events are you taking them to along with you? There's a whole group of Aprilia scooters, right? It's called, it's a scooter that relates to racing. You see Athers on Arwani Grid, they're doing knee downs and all. So it's all very situational, it's all very dependent on what kind of a community do you want to build, why you want to build, and what is the philosophy of you being a community rider and having a community of that sort for you. So it's a deeper meaning. I am also someone who tries to build a community, but it's very difficult. I get so many messages, so many calls from people who want to join, but on the day of joining there are less than 50%. So I am also at such a stage where I also need to work on creating a driving factor for people. So there are going to be a lot of people who are interested, who say they're very interested, but at the time of showing up, they don't. So that's something that's not in our control. But for the people who are showing up, you can always have respect for them, and obviously make them promote you, in the sense that what they have done on the community ride, that will make other people think, you should have a FOMO factor for people who have not come. So as a community rider, you should work on such things where people would want to come for you.
That's right. All right, thanks Tanisha.
No problem.
Guys, any other questions? Shit.
Give the mic, I told, right? Everything you're taking it personally.
Hi.
I've got around 4 or 5 questions. Please.
Yes.
As a woman rider, I'm keeping all those things in my mind as a woman rider, and then I'm asking you these questions.
Okay.
Okay. The first thing is fear of speed. My bike has, after hitting, it just trembles like anything. And later on when I touch 100, it's okay. Moreover, that speed itself gives us a fear, whether I'll be able to do it or not.
The speed gives you fear.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So how do you basically like deal with it?
See, whenever you buy a car or a bike, see, that's why I don't like loud exhaust. So whenever you, I don't know. So whenever you own a bike or a car, there is a speedometer. You have the maximum speed which it doesn't even touch, 180 for example. Whenever you buy a car or a bike, a speed of the car or the bike is a byproduct. Speed तो होगा ही, accelerate होगा, but how do you accelerate? After what level of training do you accelerate? Makes you stronger, which means you will not have a fear of speed if you are equipped and trained and skillful enough to handle the bike when it goes so fast. When you're riding an R15 on a track versus a Ducati Pani Kale, it's the speed difference. The technique is the same, right? When you are hitting an apex with an R15, you know you can control the speed and you can just tip it. But for a Ducati to come down from 270 kmph down to how much of a speed you're comfortable with, it's a very subjective thing. So, in order for you to get rid or to become less fearful of the speed, don't do it if you're uncomfortable. First things first. You have to be very comfortable with the bike. You need to know how much your bike can also push itself, right? If you are, I had met with my life's first crash on my MT-15 a month after buying it because I was touching 135 on a 155cc motorcycle because I had the craze for speed. I had a tank slapper, fell down, ended up with 10 abrasion wounds on my body and I wasn't even wearing gear. So that was a big teaching of my life. Probably my biking career would have ended right there because my brother from US, my boring brother, and my mom said that she's not going to ride a bike anymore. But my dad was the one who fought. They said that no, she will ride. So after that, the journalism thing came in. Then I learned off-roading. When you unleash yourself on a track, you will never speed on the road because you know that there is a place where you can let loose. You know that there's a controlled environment. You know there are supervisors to see what you're doing. So on the road, if your bike is less equipped, don't cross the speed of whatever it is. Be comfortable at your own speed. That's one thing I'd say.
And is there any difference between like men rider and women riders, which that cannot have, it can never match at all? Is there anything like that?
In a sporting scene, there are some people from FMSCI, even from ISBL, who believe that men and women should race together. How many of you all are for it?
I am ready to race with you though. You send me a very like.
You all think it's okay for men and women to race together. How many of you all think against it? कि नहीं होना चाहिए? Why? Could you like whatever reason you have, I'll respect your opinion.
I think it's the G-force, the same logic that applies to these high-end car races as well. It's the G-force and the inability for some structures going to not. Not that they're not allowed to, they are allowed at a certain level, but not longer.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah.
You wanted to answer? You agree to what? That men and women should race together.
Yeah, no, so my issue is more with the fact कि see in this space बहुत सारे बंदे हैं जो अभी भी छुट्टियाँ हैं. So that is the reason I don't want that integration right now.
Yeah.
If that was not the case, then there's no problem with this integration or anything as such.
Okay. So I'll tell you this one motorsport athlete I met at the KTM championship, Lani Zena. She's very fast. She's bloody graceful on the track. She's very good on the track basically. So when I met Lani Zena, from others I got to know that the reason she's so good is because she races with the boys. And when I go for training, I'm always with the boys. I've never seen any girl race or practice with me. Even with Abhishek, Mad Rabbit, I'm racing with Savvy, I'm on the track with James, I'm on the track with Amit. They all are very experienced riders. Yes, there is a difference in the way men and women ride, I am slightly against the fact that men and women should ride together because I know the male ego. No offense, but I know that on the track, some females have been kicked out or have been purposely crashed into so that the men have the space to race, thinking that why the hell are we racing with her? Like, kick her out. That mentality is something. If that is eviscerated, I think there is still a brighter future, and it's never bad for a woman to race with a man because you always have a plus point. You know how good you can actually be. If you're head on with the boys, as a singular woman, you can go head on with 20 girls at the same time. And it's not about the gender mainly, but it's about the fearlessness which men have more than women. I think that's something that draws a difference.
That's it, yeah.
I'll tell you one incident. I think this happened in 2019 INRC, Indian National Rally Championship, wherein the track was very slushy. My bike got stuck and I was riding an Express 200, a stock bike. I was riding the stock category and the bike was stuck, and right next to me I see something just zooming out. Okay, it was a TVS factory rider. And the media team were my friends who were covering. I just looked at him because he was standing right there with the camera, even he couldn't capture. I just looked at him, he was like, that's Aishwarya Pise, let her go. I mean, I swear, I shivered for a moment, like what just passed by. It was like that. So, I mean, I would still agree on, yeah, men and women can still ride together.
So, ISRL, as I said, the kids category, which was, a very beginner-friendly thing, just for people to see that, kids can also race. Girls and boys were racing together. Athletes like Alina Mansoor, Nithila Das, who is the fastest girl, she's 13, 14 years old. They were the only two girls in the whole category, and they were racing so gracefully with the boys around. When you race with men, you have that aspiration to be as good as them. But there are some legendary women who can also give a tough time to men, like Lani Zana, like Aishwarya Pise. So those kind of people can actually kick ass. Now I'll tell you, Rise Moto had come up with the new tires called Trace Rads, which is radial tires for circuit. We had gone to Coast, Coimbatore. Now I am an experienced rider, right? And there were all influencers who had come there who can only talk, present, and they can only blabber on the camera. But when it comes to performing, nil. That's why I don't call myself an influencer, right? Because I'm not doing track racing to influence people, I'm doing it for myself. People are liking it, hence they follow it. That's my logic. When I was on the track, there were some egoistic men who I crossed on corners, who I overtook on corners. And they came to me, they're like, dude, you're fast, huh? I didn't expect. I said, no, you didn't expect. No, I've never seen any girl riding so fast. I said, then that's your lack of exposure to the sport. If you've not seen any girls riding fast. Because there are girls who can kick ass on guys as well. There's nothing to be proud about it, but this is just a fact. Because a bike doesn't know your gender, right? The more saddle time you have, the more experience you have, it's just more the better. So that's how you draw a difference. And sometimes you don't even know that it's a girl racing on the track unless she takes her helmet off. So it doesn't really matter who's racing. It's all about experience. It's all about how fearless you are. And it's all about how much you're ready to give in.
Yeah. Adding to this fear of accidents, what I mentioned, there would be like number of accidents even you have met. So how did you deal with it? The first thing is that fear. Second thing is the lessons. The lessons we never commit again. That's for sure. But the fear of that particular accident, that will take some time for you to overcome that. So do you have any mantra to get over it? Because we don't try to attempt new things only because we have fear of accidents. Once I had an accident and to overcome that, it at least took around 2-3 rides more. Then only I was able to come over it. So any short-term mantra is there so that I can come out of it? Yeah.
That's a beautiful question. Thank you for that. First thing, accidents are something which are not only prevalent on a motorcycle but also are prevalent in a wet bathroom. People have broken wrists at the speed of 30. People have gotten out of accidents falling at the speed of 120. So that fear is only because you think you are responsible for it because you're on a motorcycle. All you can do is not push your limits. I think 9 out of 10 times when I have crashed is because of pushed limits. This is something my coaches have also told me, that whenever I get aggressive, they call me inside. They're like, you come inside. Because if they don't, they know I'm going to crash in the next 2 laps because I've got that adrenaline. I think that I've gotten the knack of the track now and I can speed. So when I do that, the experts will call me out. Ki bas ho gaya, you're going to push limits now. Once, when my coaches called me out, I said, no, I want to go again and I want to jump as high as you are jumping. He said, okay, go have a sip of water and come. I said, no, I want to go now, I'm in the mood. He looked at me, he said, okay, fine. I did the jump and I kissed the tree and I broke the bike. I totaled the bike. I totaled the Kawasaki KLX 230. I broke the handlebar, which was not at all repairable. The bike totaled. I know what kind of a situation I was in, of the embarrassment, of the immature speeding behavior that I had, and the lack of understanding a situation and your emotions. So, whenever you meet with a crash, you're mostly meeting with a crash because you're pushing the limits, or if there's a situational factor. Why I said a wet bathroom? You slip, you hit your head, you go unconscious, you get a concussion. But you're more prone on a motorcycle because you're speeding. And India is unpredictable. So, a fear of accident is something that you should have in your conscious mind, which should control you, which should make you calm down. But at the same time, not to be so scared that you end up crashing in a panic situation. So there's a very thin line, right? You have to be sure about how much you're pushing your limits, how much should you push limits, and where to stop. That is a mature rider. And fear of accidents, as a motorcycle owner, you shouldn't have. You should be prone to it, you should be okay with it, and you should learn from it. That's the main thing I'll say. Learn from your accidents so you don't repeat it twice.
And this gear always necessary because I commute every day to my office. It's around 11 kilometers. So should I wear the gears always so that I can protect myself? Or it's looks very only 11 kilometers every day to wear the same. What we wear becomes so tiring also. But
so that is a little controversial question, which these guys are like excited about. I don't wear my gear when I go to office. I don't even wear a jacket. I'm wearing sneakers, I'm wearing jeans. I'll make sure that I'm wearing full sleeves. I make sure that I'm wearing good jeans which are not torn. Also because there's heat, this thing becomes tanned one small portion. But mainly I make sure that I'm covered. But I'm wearing gloves, helmet and proper boots. Jeans and jacket is okay, is what I feel. I do at the same time feel ATGAT. You all know what ATGAT is? All the gear, all the time. I feel that, but then I know it's not feasible because I don't want to reach office, sweating and, all drenched. So I make sure that even if I'm wearing a shirt or a t-shirt inside, I wear a good jacket on top. At least it's a little thick. And at the same time, it's office hours, you can't even carry that much speed. And even if you are, be careful, is what I'd say. But helmet, gloves and boots, your shoes should be well equipped. Because normal shoes with, mesh or leather, not leather, but those shoes which have those ones. Yeah, cloth. It takes 0.3 seconds for the shoe to burst and your leg or your foot to be a crayon on the road. So you be careful, wear a little equipped shoes, at least Woodlands or clan shoes. There are sneakers that come from motorcycling, you can wear those. Or if you're getting Converse or Nikes or something, wear shoes which have a good sole, so that you're not that exposed to the ground.
yeah, the last question is about the fitness. Because we know that men are, by nature they're built. Okay. And we women...
Ma'am, are you seeing that thing?
In general, I'm telling you. So, as a woman rider, what are the fitness levels that you have to follow so that you can continue this journey for a long run? And you know that in this particular gang, I must be the eldest one. I don't know.
All you have to be is young at heart. Age doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, what are the fitness level that you must follow so that I can? Okay. Personally, I will ask, how can I continue my passion? And what are the fitness level I will have to follow?
Do you work on your fitness every day or thrice a week, 4 days a week? Okay. Do you end up getting cramps sometimes on the hips?
Sometimes.
On the shoulders and all?
Yeah.
First thing that you all need to know, even if you don't follow fitness, is on the bike stretches. Something for your shoulder, something for your hips, something for your lower back, something for your wrists, something for your fingers. These are the basic things that people who are not into fitness should know. If you want to get into fitness for motorcycling, focus more on strengthening your muscles, lifting weights, and then on cardio. Because if you see Harit Noah, you see a lot of motocross riders, Rogwe, there's Aishwarya, there's so many people who I always see whenever they're working out, they're cycling. They're making their legs stronger, they're doing the endurance because they have to go the long way. They have to exert themselves so much to keep that 130 kilo bike, under them in control, and at the same time themselves. They need to have the strength and mainly they need to have the endurance. But us as people who go for touring, who go office daily, who don't want cramps and all, do strengthen your muscles, lift weights. A lot of women, not only women actually, in order to be fast on the bike, you have to be light. You cannot be heavy and be fast. Because on the straights, even if you're fast on the corners, on the straights, the person who's behind you can easily overtake you because that person is light on the bike. But that doesn't mean that you only focus on weight loss, you only focus on having a lighter weight, but you build a good frame, you build good muscles that protect your bones, and at the same time you build your endurance. So it's feasible for you to go long distance, and it's feasible for you to get out of a crash unharmed. That's what I would say. So fitness, do strength training, lift a little weights. I know it might be difficult, considering that you are not into fitness that much, but you can always start. Strengthen your back so that you're more erect on a motorcycle, so that you're more fit. Try and do some functional exercises, some stretches, some yoga movements. Learn on the bike stretches. That will make your entire journey comfortable.
Thank you so much.
No problem. I hope I've cleared all your doubts.
Yes, 100%.
Shetty, you eat well, okay?
I do eat. I have high metabolism.
Shetty is vertically built.
You tell that you took the mic from me.
Just continuing that thread. Well, I overheard over the snack that you have tested in the 210 X Pulse. What are your first thoughts about it? Would you recommend it to a fresher? Yeah?
Absolutely. I mean, it's light, it's flickable, it's nimble, almost no vibrations, very light to move around with, very responsive. I think it's for a beginner, I would not even give it a second thought. I mean, if I'm a person who would have like more than 3 bikes in a garage, one of them would be X Pulse 200. That's how good a bike it is. It's changed my mind towards it. Although I know it doesn't carry that much speed on a highway. But the way I was handling the bike on road, off road, I'm going uphill, I'm coming down, it's very easy to handle.
So yeah, Tanisha, what are the difficulties faced by a woman in the automotive industry, which includes you as well? Let's be very honest in this.
As I said, men would comment कि अब ये सिखाएगी क्या? Why should a woman teach a man? Like, men know how to ride, why is a woman stepping up? These comments do hinder my emotional, capability. Although at the same time, I'm very woke emotionally. I do study spirituality, I do study a lot of things to keep my emotions in control. But there are still some things that tick me off. Now, these kind of things tick me off, but then at the same time, I still work on it so much, as I said, that will not make them mess with me. Be so knowledgeable, be so, commanding of where you are that no one messes with you, except for people who actually have the caliber to come and talk to you, head on. That's the kind of mentality I have. So you be capable to be in a set of people who can talk about motorcycles, who can talk about fitness, never have half knowledge. But there are still a lot of influencers who misuse the fact that they're females for motorcycles, which I don't respect.
We'll come back to that.
So, as an influencer, or as whatever they call it in today's term, I think the more old school you are, the more primitive you are, the more respect you gain. So, I don't really care about what men are. There are men who will appreciate, and I love that. There are women who will appreciate. There are women who will learn. There are women who will comment that please help us with XYZ, and I do. There are men who say that, oh, thank you. Like, I am also a short rider. There was this one comment that stuck with me. He said that जितना मैंने आपके रील्स से सीखा है, उतना I have not even learned and on an on-ground training with any of the trainers. Yeah, thank you. So that's the value, you know. It doesn't matter you're a male or female as long as you're helping people who need help. Because there is not a lot of people who are teaching beginner level training. There are like there's this guy called G Aman or G Man. Then there's Nikhil Sood who's doing it. There are a few trainers who are doing it. Big Rock does it. Prodot Adventure does it. So there are a lot of people who do it. It's important to find the right kind of people. There are some trainers who will train right things, but they'll not wear the gear. They'll wear jeans. They'll wear knee guards on top of their jeans. I see that and I unfollow them. If I'm also following them just because I've met them at some event, they're good people, we had a nice talk, but if their content is like that, I unfollow.
Now, being social media, okay, not influencer, but a person with a lot of followers, how has that helped you in the motorsport industry? Did it actually help you in the industry?
Motorsport industry helped me to get so many followers actually. But yeah, through those followers, I'm able to connect with people who need help. And with those followers, I have also gained trust of brands. That because she is doing this, there are so many people following her, hence she must be trustworthy. Or I mean, they don't even need to see the numbers to trust me, they need to see the kind of content I'm pushing.
Doesn't skill matter then?
Then?
Doesn't skills matter?
That's how I've gotten the followers, no? Because I'm not using any other means of gaining attention other than talking about skills and technique.
Okay, no, I mean, I'm talking about the brands. When you told, like, you know, it's automotive brand, I mean, seeing the number of followers, they have gained trust. Don't they see skills?
Yeah, that's what will build the trust, no? That's what I'm saying, that they will not see my numbers to trust me, they'll see the kind of content I'm pushing out to trust me.
That is what I want.
Number is just an add-on. It's just a cherry on top कि अच्छा content भी है, लोग follow भी कर रहे हैं, तो अगर हमको इसके साथ कुछ करना है, then we'll get the visibility also. It's a plus point.
Understood. Can you make a life out of social media?
Yes and no. Yes, because if you have a good content creation team, you can. Because they know how to push out, how to make it visually appealing. But this kind of work doesn't come every month, every week. So it's a very, what do you say? Not a continuous thing to do. But when the work comes, it comes. You cannot. There's no certainty that you will earn XYZ amount of money in a month, or you might not earn XYZ amount of money in a month. It depends. Also, it depends on the season. It depends on who is aggressively marketing their product, who would want to approach you. But you can make a living, but it also depends on the number you have. Now people with 400k followers are making a great living out of social media, but their content is shit. All they're doing is screaming on screen. ये देखो ये कितने का है, वो देखो वो कितने का है. And nowadays brands are more viewer centric, number centric. They are not value centric. And one day this bubble of influencers will burst, and then only the good ones will remain. And I'm waiting for that to happen.
Hopefully. Okay, we come across a lot of influencers these days. What are your views on contents being posted by other automotive influencers these days? Are they doing it right?
All the people that 6K IOM has brought here are doing it right.
Thank you. I require that.
Because I'm sure that there are so many automotive creators who have so many followers, but there's a reason you have not invited them, right? So, I think the answer is right there. there are influencers who are adding value. Motozoomer is reviewing products.
He was the
Kalakar
first
is-
one to start the.
Kalakar knows his shit. Kalakar is also promoting other influencers who you should follow. Then who else is there?
I mean, Raksak Diaries, Big
Yeah.
Boss Key,
Raksak Diaries, I know there are a couple.
then Vikas.
They review the products they're using. That see, I've been using this bag and this is how it. So whoever is giving information which is ideal, which is resonating with you, is a good influencer. Not those who are talking because they're getting paid for the product.
On what basis do you take brand collaborations? And how do you review
You want me to
products?
be brutally honest?
Yes.
Sometimes I'm desperate, sometimes I'm not.
Desperate in the sense how?
Financially desperate. Sometimes when I need the money, I might do it. Sometimes when I'm okay, I will think about it and I'll say,
And how
but
do
then
we consider you as a good influencer?
Sorry?
How do we consider you as a good influencer?
You already considered me as a good influencer, that's
No, I'm still saying.
No, but honestly, the desperation factor is what I'm saying is the life of an influencer is not easy. Because it's easy to view 45 seconds of what they're saying, but if you see the duration that goes behind creating that 145-second video is very tiring. If I put a camera in front of you, if I make you talk about something, you're just gonna give up. The fact that you have to look good every time on camera, the fact that you have to speak something that will resonate with the audience, the fact that you have to come up with scripts that is going to defeat the attention span of people, which is just 3 seconds, is very tiring. To create content where people want to see what you're talking about is a thing to crack.
Do you feel that showcasing improper ways of riding or improper way of using riding gears is being implemented by the influencers these days? Do you feel glamour is being showcased more than knowledge for the sake of views and followers?
Absolutely. A
What
lot
are
of
your
people
opinions on
are
that?
misusing it. Also, brands also get desperate because I know some big brands who don't want to work with me because my numbers are less. But at that time, their marketing is so aggressive that they want to go with a 400k followed person. Which means, however they promote it, at the end of the day, it's getting views, and that's what brands are okay with. But there are some brands who know the kind of people they want to work with, right? So, you as a person, if you can get the views at the same time be decent in the way that you're promoting content, is the best thing to do. Because if you see a half-naked woman on a video where she's I've seen such useless videos, man. Like I see a girl wearing a deep neck, she's put a Red Bull can and she's riding, she'll stop the bike, she'll take the helmet, she'll do a dramatic hair flip, she'll drink it. She's getting millions of views. But will you view the content? Will the decent ones appreciate it? They might see it.
Shitty.
I'm sorry, I'm being brutally honest. Even I see it. कि क्या दिखा रहा है, क्या दिखा रही है, you know, like I also view it. But that is not getting any conversions. No one is seeing at the bike or the Red Bull can that she's actually promoting. They are looking at things that they want to look at.
But you remember the Red Bull?
I remember the Red Bull. But do you think that's an ethical way? Do you think Red Bull as a brand should get that respect if they're promoting it through such dumb people? It won't work out. So it's okay for the short-term views. It's okay for some people like me also to remember how hideous it was. But the reason I'm remembering it is because it's hideous. And the reason I remember it and the reason I'm looking down upon Red Bull is because they are also promoting it. So brands do pull such moves sometimes to get the views. But it's not at all favorable in the long run. लोग देखेंगे, लोग forward भी करेंगे, millions में views आएंगे, but लोग नीच नज़र से देखेंगे. So even men do that, even women do that, and I think everyone, all of us know the kind of people who are there on girls' Instagrams and girls' comment sections about what they comment. I also get that. How much of a decent the photo is, there's not much you know, there's mostly a bike, there's mostly my facial pictures, but the kind of comments I get are hideous. So whatever you do, either you're fully hidden or you're partially hidden, people who want to see will see. You can't control that. But all you can do is, as a woman or as a man, be ethical. Whoever wants to see it, you can chuck them out, but the respect that you will get in the industry, whether it's a corporate, whether it's any industry, even in fashion industry, there are people who can do fashion with covered clothes as well. And you know what? A covered cloth fashion will get more views to see how this girl has covered herself so well, and hence, like, how is she still looking so good. Same thing for men. Same thing, like, men are making like hideous videos, man, like their angles and all, and whatever they're doing is pretty hideous. But they do it for the views. Views से क्या मिलेगा? Instagram पैसा दे रहा है क्या? नहीं. But तुम लोगों के दिमाग में उस category में you will be registered that हाँ, she makes this kind, he makes this kind of content, she makes this kind of content. They will get the views. But it's all subjective. It's sometimes I feel कि मैं भी करूँगी. I'll also dance in front of a bike. I'll also get views. But I just can't. Like, girls are dancing and, you know, taking in.
Obviously, you were born like a boy, right?
No, it's not about being born. I'm born like a female, for sure. But I'm not using the female card to make myself famous.
A carryover question. Do you feel nudity is being used as a prop in gaining attention, views, or likes by the influencers in the automotive industry these days? What is your view on it?
I just said yes, that they are. Lot of them.
How would you stop that? I mean,
I can't stop it. Even the brands won't stop it.
So you would
the
just
only
let it
persons
go?
who can stop it themselves after knowing how people actually look at them. But I think that's also not going to stop them, because at the end of the day, they're getting the views, they're getting the popularity. And I think females.
Okay, I understood with it. Okay, coming back.
You know you're in a male-dominated industry as a female, and if you're playing that card, होता है, views मिलते हैं, लड़कियां भी देखती हैं, मैं भी देखती हूँ.
Yeah,
As I said, I also.
it's like previously, I think who? Papa sir told, right? Sex sells. And yes, brands do want is what? Numbers and business coming onto the table. Okay, tell me something like, how do you deal with negative comments, and what is the most disappointing criticism you have got being a woman in the motorsport athlete?
I just spoke about it. The fact that I am looked down upon as a woman who's trying to teach something which mostly men do. So people will comment that why should we learn from a girl? The men are doing it right. Why should a woman teach a man how to do it right? It's that male ego thing that comes in. Negative comments I mostly get from guys. Girls, they don't. Mostly they don't. Girls will not actually.
And what do you have any comment like that in your mind? You know, it's triggers
Yeah,
you
this only
eventually?
that अभी ये सिखाएगी क्या? Will the girl teach us now? Like why should
That
we-
was actually a comment.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There are worse comments than this. I have to delete them. Rise Moto posted a coffee meetup with me, and first comment is something so absurd. I had to call Rise and tell them to delete the comment. And they're like, oh shit, we are so sorry that you have to go through this as a woman. It's sad, it's actually very sad. But I've become so immune to it that I know that whatever content I post, things are going to come my way. The closest of the closest people have told me this. That people don't follow you for the content, they follow you because you have a good body, you have a good face. And in any of the videos, there's no body scene, there's no. And then another guy's like, gear ke through bhi dikhta hai na. You know, so it's that sad. Like, at that point of time, I just understand what kind of a mentality that person has. And all I do is just keep a distance, because you can't do anything to control it.
Very true. That's really sad. Okay, that's actually really sad. But yeah, sometimes you know they tell, right? It's like change your thinking, the way you see things. And the whole point of these events are this, so that even the influencer also gets to speak what they feel.
And the reason why influencers का नाम डूबा हुआ है is because of this.
True. Okay, now coming back to motorcycling, if a beginner rider is planning for a long tour like Leh Ladakh or the Northeast, is there any agency or a team you would suggest? how is it going to be beneficial and different from other touring companies?
Any team or any agency as in someone who organizes it, but solo जाना है तो कैसे organize करेगा?
No, I mean beginner. See, a person who's seeking in help, he can't. He wants somebody. Everybody can't. I mean, for example, if Shetty is telling him, "Come bro, we'll go to Ladakh," he might not be financially stable enough wherein Adi can go along with him. So, whom would he approach into? A company that you would recommend or give a shout out to?
For a solo ride, I don't think anyone will tag along with Shetty if he wants to go, unless he pays them. इससे अच्छा तू अपने दोस्त को स्पॉन्सर कर देना, वो तेरे साथ चल लेगा. So why would you pay a random person?
No, I'm talking about there are certain agency in India wherein they take people for trips along with
So then
them.
that is a group ride, that is
Yes.
not solo.
Oh, sorry. I mean, did I mention solo here? Okay. No, I didn't mention. I told if a beginner rider is planning on a long tour like Ladakh or the Northeast, is there any agency or a team you would suggest? How is it going to be beneficial for them and different from other touring companies?
How many of you all like to travel with big groups? How many of you all don't like to travel with big groups? No. Like random people ka group. Nahi na. So for me, I have been to Leh Ladakh once with Harley Davidson, where I was called as an influencer to create content. The whole thing was sponsored, and I was like, wow, what better opportunity than this, to go to Ladakh, where I have a support car, where I have a full professional team of Harley Davidson, where I have a lead rider, where there are 15 people, which is a less number, which is manageable, and the whole trip is paid for. Like, I don't have to spend a single rupee. So I was like, what's the problem? So I went. Now there, when I went, I got to know that Harley Davidson has not organized this ride. There's an expedition group called Mountain Goat Experiences who has organized this. Harley Davidson has done a tie-up with them, and they have organized this ride. I'll tell you a very funny incident what happened. Last week I posted a picture of my Ladakh Harley Davidson के साथ मैंने photo डाला, and in the caption I wrote, "Someone please take me to Ladakh." You won't believe what happened. I got an offer to go to Ladakh, and I'm going to Ladakh on 1st June. Now the reason that happened, so at IBW there was a Detour India group of tours and travels who take motorcyclists out. They came to me, they're like, "Hey, you fit Tanisha, right?" No one knows my name. They're like, "You fit Tanisha, right?" I was like, "Yeah, hi." They're like, "We are making a video, XYZ, आप एक short लगेगा." I was like, "Yeah, for sure, why not?" So I did that, and then after that we followed each other. They were taking videos of Canada Lewis, Alpha Baikarni, and Joshi Daniel, and Veer Nakai, and all those high-end people in the automotive industry. So they are like, "What is it? One thing that you have as a mantra when you go on rides?" So I said, "Rule number 1, always have fun. Rule number 2, listen to rule number 1." ठीक है, was my mantra. Then they posted it, and we all got off at a very good note. So they saw this post. They commented, "Hey, we are going to Ladakh. You want to join us? It's on us!" Exclamation mark. मेरे को लगा मस्ती में लिखा है. What did actually happen? So they sent me the itinerary. They're like 65,000 का package है, but we'll give it to you free of cost. Just come with us. We would love to have you on board and all. So there are a lot of these are actually the perks of being an influencer.
Shetty also good. He's also going to like the comment.
Shetty will not start dancing in front of his bike to get on.
But my car is half of the time in the service station, so I can't dance.
Oh.
You, bro, good thing, right? I want a Ferrari. Ferrari is
Yeah,
going to get
I
you a
actually
Ferrari.
started making jokes. I was like, now I'll post a picture when I see someone take me to Australia, someone take me to New Zealand and all. So there are a lot of people, like tours and travel agencies who do these things. Like KTM does it, KTM Pro XP does it, Dominar Group does it. They keep taking their ultraviolet. Yesterday, so ultraviolet owners are called squadrons. Whoever owns an ultraviolet is a part of the ultraviolet squadron.
I think Sayuj is here. Where is Sayuj? He's busy. I mean, he knows, he's a part of that.
So Ultraviolet organized a track day for them. Yesterday I went for the track day as a brand friend of Ultraviolet. Because Abhishek was teaching. So I asked Abhishek, "Hey, can I join?" So he's like, "Okay, let me ask Ultraviolet." And then Ultraviolet said, "Oh yeah, Tanisha can join us as a brand friend, free of cost, she doesn't have to pay." These are some of the perks I do get. But I mean, I think I deserve it because I have used ethical ways of making myself recognizable in the industry. I am proud about that and I do boast about it because I know that I have done it the hard way, not to play the female card and get the followers. I get genuine people, like even when I'm reviewing a 390 adventure, people are commenting on my post saying that your review has no standing in front of Surgeon's review. Surgeon is Sagar Shetikar. The fact that I'm getting compared to Sagar Shetikar is a big thing for me. You know, so I find good things in negative comments because I take that as a constructive criticism. So whenever you want to go on such trips, on such rides, lot of brands are doing it. Lot of touring agencies are doing it. They will give you a 65,000 package. Honestly, is very good because it's a Mumbai to Mumbai thing. You go start from Bombay, Vadodara to Udaipur, Udaipur to Chandigarh, Chandigarh to Manali, Manali to Jispa, Jispa to Leh to Sarchu, and then all the way back to Bombay. 65,000 is nothing for that. They're giving you stay, they're giving you free breakfast and free dinner. All you have to spend is on lunch, which is not that much because there are like small joints. You can have thuppa and momos and Maggie and all, and your lunch is done. Because normally you don't feel like eating heavy food during rides and all. So there are, I would love to give a shout out to T-Tour India. Do check their page out. They are, in fact, we still have 4 more openings. I would love if I could see one of the common faces from here to join us.
Shetty.
You to come as pillion with me.
Can you miss this golden opportunity?
I won't even feel someone sitting behind me.
I'm right.
You'd love to come now.
Why not?
That's all that matters.
Not example.
To come to 6K, 101 permission you have to take from your parents. No. So I think there's one more friend of ours. I think Siddharth's clothing brand. I think you should talk about it. So the boys might be interested in it.
Everyone's attention to that guy in the sky blue t-shirt. He is my travel buddy who I met through a commercial interaction.
Just like how Shetty, you got an offer of sitting billion like that.
So he makes jerseys, caps, keychains, merchandise, everything. So very famous in the industry. This guy is very underground. Doesn't like to be.
I swear, bro, Motorfarm's logo sir is designed. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Now I got to know from inside.
Yeah. So yesterday when I was at the track day for Ultraviolet, I took him there. So the marketing team doesn't know who he is, but the merchandising guy knows him. So I was like, chal, just meet the team. At least tell them that you are the person behind all the merchandise that they're wearing. So when I made Abhishek meet him. So I told him, Abhishek, that F99 cap that you wear, no? That prestigious cap of yours is made by this guy. He's like, oh really? Give me a number.
I mean, same reaction when I took his number.
Same reaction. Most of the people have the same reaction. So, he's a very good guy. He makes like good, all t-shirts are related to biking. You've got like trail helmets and a visor where there's a nice scenery and all. He makes such t-shirts and there are, you guys can talk to him later. So there are like garage shirts which you would actually wear it at a garage to do some mechanical work with your name on it. It's like a, like a very chic kind of a thing.
I think ABC members could definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys.
So I had done a Women's Day ride where Castrol KTM, as I said, that they were sponsoring me. So he made a t-shirt for me where at the back of the t-shirt I had asked him to write a quote saying, "Forget the glass heels, this princess wears motorcycle boots." So he made that t-shirt and we gave it to all the women who had come and they all are obsessed over that t-shirt. So customizing and whatever you like, you can talk to him. Thanks, welcome for the shout out.
Bro, commission we'll talk later inside. I mean, the Motorfarm logo you guys have seen, right? The new ones, yes. The artist behind that is this. Okay, it's 9 already and the time just flew. Ma'am, you got bored in the second half?
Didn't feel like 9, dude.
No, right? Be honest, if it was bored, tell it was bored. It was good. She's good. I am not good. Man, this is so unfair. You guys do good. That is why I give you discounts, no? Shetty is still thinking, what shall I wear sitting behind? Yeah, without riding gear, she's not going to take you.
Don't worry, I won't brake too hard, okay?
Braking was because of which I had an accident. So PTSD.
Then I won't brake.
Don't ride too fast also. Even if he flies off, you won't
I
get to
won't
know.
get to know, yeah.
you are-
Hold on to the grab rails. Please buy a harness for you, strap on.
Bungee cord, yeah, bungee cord. Next day,
Shetty, you sure you want to come to 6K tomorrow?
yeah, for sure.
How old are you?
Wait,
Oh,
yeah,
bachcha.
yeah, yeah.
What are you pursuing in college?
Psychology.
Oh, what do you think about me?
Good.
Thanks. That's it? Four letters only.
I mean, I can do more, but
I know you can do more.
attendance 0.
Adi, how was today's show? Good? Satisfied now? Right, because you were like, the show is going a little dull, yeah.
Are you
Right?
sure? You guys have any questions? At least I want one question from everyone, please. Don't feel shy. I'm a friend. Ask me any question that you like.
Professionally, I'm a banker. My name is Pranay. I am a banker professionally. So, there are a lot of people like me who own good bikes. Like I have Dominar 400. I have bought it specifically so that I can do tours on it, and I tour with my wife here. So, we go to office every day, and our need is satisfied with the tour and this. So recently, not recently, but we are hearing it since last 2-3 years that there is off-roading, there is circuit racing on that. Off-roading, personally, I don't like because in my childhood days in Splendor when I was going in my hometown, so it was off-roading. Don't want to do that. So I want to be in circuit racing.
Once again, in your childhood days on a Splendor you were doing off-roading.
Yeah.
That is only a big deal, sir. On your childhood days you were doing off-roading.
So that's why I'm not interested in anything in that much.
But what if you use a better bike than Splendor to do off-roading?
Splendor is
off-roading on a Splendor even today.
off-roading in a Splendor is
And then you're one of the Powtia boys. You know Powtia boys?
I'll just give you a small brief. Okay, there is this small kid. He is in about 11th standard, I think. It's in a small village, okay, Motorsport. So when we go on trails, in between the trails or something, if we need something, we call this boy up. We tell water bottles or anything. And he is like very passionate about motorcycles. And he helps us a lot whenever we go because since it is a very remote area, we don't get stuck. This kid runs around. He is from the local village. Because he comes to such trails wherein we think 10 times, okay, should we go through that path or no on a Splendor? He's only so much. His name is Nishu. The way he comes, shorts, slippers, we tell him at least wear a temperature come.
There are a lot of
No,
videos.
I'm very used to this. I go every day from here. We're like, okay, good.
There are a lot of videos on social media where they are from Southeast Asia and they have very small CC bike, but they go around very different ways with a lot of luggage on them and they drive like this. So now I can come close to you. So my question was, I am more into
Just keep it closer. No, that's okay. The other mic is recording. Audible to you?
So my thing is, I want to taste have a bit of circuit racing. So what can be my clear pathway for that? Like I hear if I Google it, there is this thing, there is that thing, but there is nothing in proper organized way or something.
So, with an industry being at such a niche level, don't trust Google. Because Google doesn't know who is authentic, who is not. So, all the racing academies that you must have heard of, Apex, RACR, there's Spark Racing, there's Mad Rabbit Racing. If you've not heard about it, I think people who are already doing circuit, you must be seeing them, active on social media. You must be seeing where they're doing it, how they're doing it. It's always good to ask someone who's doing it. Like if you ask me, I will always recommend you to go to Arwani Grid with Abhishek. He literally made me scrape my knees on the third day of training. And he said he's never seen any girl scrape her knee on the third day of training. It takes minimum 2 years for a girl to trust the bike that much to go solo. So it's the leadership of that guy, is the experience of him of how to teach, how to lead a training session where you can actually exploit your limits and things like that. So it's always good to go to someone who is constantly organizing track days, and at the same time someone who makes sure that the safety standard is met. He will not let you go on the track without a double tearing helmet. He'll make sure that your gloves are properly equipped, you have the racing gloves and all. So if you take my word for it, 9th and 10th of April now, come with me, we'll go to Arwani Grid, take a level 1, level 2 training from Abhishek. You would want to come again. He's that a good trainer. So, are you based in Bangalore?
Yeah, I'm living here.
So Bangalore has so many opportunities. The main reason I chose Bangalore to do a 2-month job was only because of the fact that there are so many tracks here I can go race, I can go practice. So you are in such a city, you like motorsports, so you make the most out of it. Do go to Abhishek. I have not trained with anyone else, and I don't want to train with anyone else because I'm in love with the way he teaches. So do come with us if you would like, 9th and 10th of April at Arwani Grid. Follow Mad Rabbit Racing on Instagram. They keep posting when they have a track day, when they don't, and whatever it is, like you will understand. And I think getting a taste of circuit is very important, at least once in your life. Because you really fall in love with the sport. It's so nice.
I'd love to do that. Let's to make it a little funny, like what gloves do you use? Because that nails, I think, will pass through any gloves.
Yeah, a lot of. Okay, I'll show you something funnier. You see this nail?
Yeah.
It's broken.
Okay.
This broke yesterday at the track day. So I had a crash. I had a low side. It was a low side. बहुत प्यार से मैं गिरी, but I got up and I picked up the bike. And after I took my gloves off, I saw that the nail was broken. And you'll also see one video on my Instagram where I have literally taken my nails off. You know, because
I've seen a video of that.
and you saw that I threw the nails and I said that you can't race with this shit, and I'm very affirmative about that. You cannot race with such long nails because if you're crashing, no, and if this nail comes off, it comes off with your real one. It's that hardly stuck to your real nail. But for me, I require it because when I go for shows, when I go for events, I like to look good. I don't like my hands without nails and just bald fingers like that. I like to get my nails done. So I got it done, and I didn't know that I'll actually end up on the velocity track just the week after I get my nails. But yeah, when I do race with the nails, or like yesterday, I took it easy. But now for 9th and 10th, I'll have to probably take it off, or again I'll be very careful because I've spent a fortune on it.
So, hottest question in the internet right now is Tanisha Arora single? Hashtag asking for a friend.
Your wife is sitting next to you.
Hashtag asking for a friend.
Wait, how is Tanisha single?
Like, is Tanisha Arora single, or is she looking for a biker friend?
Is he hot? No, actually I have a new crush today. Where is he?
Oh, his parents called your guy got taking him to Ladakh. We went to ask permission.
No, I'm single. And I'm not looking for anyone right now because I'm just so much in love with my life. The way I'm having the exposure to travel where I want, to make the kind of friends I want. I'm just loving that. And I love singlehood. Just because I'm traveling, not because I have any other intentions. But I'm just busy with my personal life right now. And I want to focus on myself.
Do you do tours like to nearby places and all like that?
I do sometimes. But I haven't really planned anything on the bike right now because it's too hot. And I'm a kind of person who will do touring according to my comfort. Not because I want to show that I'm a biker, so I'll go here even if it's that hot. I'm not that kind of a go-getter. Because I feel I want to do it at my comfort, only then I'll be happy and I'll be safe. So it's a weather dependence, it depends on the place also that I'm going. So it's all like that. I mean, if I do feel like gearing up and going to Goa tomorrow, I'll think twice because it's too hot. Like if the weather would have been cool, I would have actually. I'm that kind of an impromptu person that I will just get up and go. But it's kind of situational, I would say. But I love touring. I like touring a lot. And I am that kind of a person who hates people who do chai sota. Ki har cancel. people who like after 30-40 kilometers chai sutta, I don't like that.
It's actually an opportunity to change it. If you tell, you might quit. He will. Where is he? He will.
So yeah, I mean, I am an impromptu kind of person. Like for example, Siddharth and I were just, as I said, he's my travel buddy. We keep going to places in his car. Because he's also kind of a person that nahi garmi hai, mere ko nahi jana. And we are like good friends, best friends. There's nothing more than that. It's only travel. It's like you want to go to Africa next weekend, let's go. Let's go to Vietnam. परसों Vietnam के लिए निकलने का है, इसलिए मैं actual ticket देखते हैं. It's like that. I want these kind of people around me.
No visa required for Vietnam. No visa required for Vietnam.
So it's like that. Yeah, so I was saying that we were planning a ride from Bombay to Shimla, but in September when the weather is friendly, because we'll be touching Udaipur, we'll be going Rajasthan, the weather will be nice and cool. Shimla will be cool. So it's on a comfort basis.
How did you enjoy the BFF, right? In Odisha.
Beach Bike Fest was beautiful. It was a completely different experience.
Is that the right way JS was talking
Yes. So actually, I'll tell you the cons of being an influencer. I was wearing a pink, like a top, sleeveless with ripped jeans, and I was wearing Garnet, my racing boots, and I was riding on the bike on the beach with a KLX 230. But I didn't really face a lot of criticism on my face. But the brand started thinking that, oh, this is not Tanisha. Tanisha cannot ride without the gear. How is she riding in a kanji over there? Like a sleeveless top. So because of that, I had to archive my reel. Although I had taken 2 hours in the flight to edit that reel. And I love editing. I make my own reels, I edit them myself, and I like to put the music and all. I like to dramatize it. But then I had to take it down because I wasn't wearing the gear. So it was actually fun. I got to ride a Hayabusa over there. I got to ride a Honda Goldwing over there.
Expose 210 also, right? You are on the beach with that?
KLX.
Also, KLX. Yeah. I saw a video of Gullu biker.
Yes. So we were riding. It was a lot of fun. Beautiful. I think BBF, once it actually commercializes, I think you all will also get a chance to book and fly down and have fun.
Like we are from Odisha, so we are very happy that something is done like that.
Oh wow! So you know this actor called Siddharth Mohapatra?
Yeah,
he
he's a
was also
legend.
there.
Yeah.
Such a handsome guy. Like he's old, but the way he carries himself, he was wearing Gen Z clothes. Like he's wearing parachute pants and a jacket and all with a nice cap. Very smart. I just loved his vibe. How young he was.
He's the best. In Bollywood, Amitabh Bachchan is there.
Yeah, I know. I heard that, and it was a pleasure meeting him. And I'll tell you one thing I loved about Odisha is the people. So down to earth, so warmly they welcomed all of us from different cities of the world, of the country. It was beautiful with all.
But you haven't visited to the best part yet.
Which
we
one?
are actually from south of Odisha, which is very, very least explored. Because a lot of tribal people are from there.
Okay.
And the places, like recently there is one movie of S.S. Rajmouli was shot there.
Okay.
So Priyanka Chopra and Mahesh Babu was there for a shoot. So the places were like extremely so good that now people and bikers, a lot of bikers are coming from Chhattisgarh and other states also going to explore that places.
So let's catch up after this and I'll take the name of the place
Sure,
and we'll
why not?
definitely plan something.
Sure.
Maybe you can show me around.
Yeah, definitely.
Talking about the names, I just remembered Sarah's one of Sarah Lizito.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she cuts off the gloves and she starts reading. Okay, so time's up, guys. We'll close them. What are you waiting for?
Rapid fire. Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, you know about it?
Yeah, it was in the script.
No, I
Rapid fire
didn't.
round you wrote.
Only that's all I wrote,
that's
right?
all right.
I thought the rest of the parts I had taken
That's
off.
true, that's true.
Boys, ready? Okay, Tanisha, you won't have time to think on this. Your reflexes, how good is on your motorcycle, it has to be as fast as that. And you can't choose both the options. You can't choose anything apart from the options what I give. Don't put me in a spot when I am putting you in a spot. Okay? So these are the rules that you have to follow. And Shetty, please. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the rapid fire starts now. Bikes or cars?
Bikes.
EV or combustion?
Combustion.
Practice at the circuit or an off-road track. Which would you choose?
Circuit.
Circuit. YouTube or Instagram?
Instagram.
A man who drives or a man who rides?
The man who rides.
One stupid thing you often see riders doing on road.
Riding carelessly.
I mean, what is that carelessness?
Provoking me to race.
One influencer you look up to or inspires you? Fast.
Skills, riding skills.
No, one influencer you look up to
Oh.
or inspires you.
I honestly have no influence. I look up to.
Okay, somebody you know whom you look up to. An athlete maybe, a journalist maybe.
I think that girl who keeps doing wheelies and all, Sarah.
Sarah Lazito.
Yeah, Sarah.
One motorcycle that you would always pull out for any of your rides.
ADB 390.
One person from your phone book whom you would call in for any rides and they would appear.
Siddharth.
Group rides or solo rides?
Solo.
Adventure motorcycles or fired motorcycles?
Adventure motorcycles or?
Fired motorcycles.
Fair ones.
Sure, no?
Yeah.
One riding gear brand that you would always pick up.
Tai Chi.
I was shocked.
Tai Chi.
Okay, GoPro or an Insta360? What
Insta
would-
360.
Hard luggage system or soft luggage system?
Soft luggage.
IBW or Motorverse? Remember, you're going to get tickets for both.
Motorverse.
Highways or mountains?
High.
Highways or mountains? Where would you prefer? riding?
Mountains.
Touring or racing?
Racing.
MotoGP or F1?
MotoGP.
Circuit racing or off-road racing?
Circuit racing.
Rossi or Marcus?
Marquez.
Isle of Man TT or MotoGP?
TT.
Nice. Okay. Choose a weekend. Wait. Choose a weekend on a date, or would you prefer riding with a friend?
Riding with a friend. I
A date-
cancelled the date for the track day yesterday.
A date in a fancy restaurant or a date on a practice track?
Date on a practice track. Raw
Workout.
and sweaty. Raw and sweaty.
Workout at the gym or go out on a ride?
Workout at the gym.
Okay, I didn't expect that.
Ride तो जाते रहेंगे.
Kawasaki or Yamaha? Soon, you don't have time to think.
Yamaha.
Yamaha or Suzuki?
Yamaha.
Yamaha or Royal Enfield?
Yamaha.
Yamaha or KTM?
KTM.
KTM or Honda?
KTM.
KTM or TVS?
KTM.
KTM or BMW?
KTM.
Dainese or Alpine Stars?
Dynasty.
Aether or Ola?
Aether.
Aether or Ultraviolet?
Ultraviolet.
Happy? Done? So yeah, it was a wonderful evening. Thank you all for joining
Thank
us.
you,
I'm
guys.
Faiz, your host, and thank you so much. Thank you. I hope you liked the event today. And guys, for a heads up, next weekend we have Aishwarya Pisse coming in. Hoping to see you all again next week.
Sorry if I bored you all.
Okay, how was the event? Honestly. Liked it? How was the event for you?
Lovely. This guy's a cherry on top. Dressed like a cherry also.
Bro, see, if you only stop smoking, she's going to take you out on a ride. Yeah, all these things happen when you are gone.
Huh? Oh, you missed it now. I won't say it again.
Golden.
Oh.
That's slow down and drive, right?
Wow.
Okay guys, thank you so much for coming in. It was a wonderful show, but before that we have a small present for you. Binoj, I would like to call upon Binoj to present her a small surprise gift. That's something from 6K. Binoj will be explaining you the technicality of that. let's have a quick group photo and wind up with today's event.
Because you're so vertically built. And the more people come to the front, no, because you guys are too wide. Too wide.
Frame is 5.
Bro, you are also. Go and stand on top then.
Bro, passport size photo you're taking or group photo?
Ready?
Ready?
3, 2, 1, and smile.
3, 2, 1, guys, cheers!
1 second. Now video.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone takes your bike.
What's that?
Oh, sweet. Like some
Accident. Yes.
when he comes close.
Okay.
Next your biceps.
Non-existent.
Non-existent. Yeah.
We have bones.
What is it?
2, 1, and go.
6K. 6K. Right after this, it's 6K. Vinod, anyway, he's going to put BGM, Vinod. But you just show this.
Yeah.
But the timing was wrong.
Then I'll give you a counter. 6, 6.
When he's there, don't do that.
You don't get that vibe. Okay?
So what are we supposed to do?
First,
Yeah.
and then 6K.
Yeah.
On the count of 3, 2, 1.
Yay!
6K. Perfect? Yes. Thank you so much, guys. If you want to take pictures or anything, no, close yours.
We should come, Nihal.